Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say go so, the remix.
DMB, Tuck Spice, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time with things to go off an eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. And now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, a killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a Coke bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from the planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty. I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl, beautiful girl. Yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money, you seen her? Hot Ice, have you seen her? LP, have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMV, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts, call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. show me Aston Kutcher. I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'm a go-getter. Since I'm a go-getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world. Anything for my beautiful girl. Psych. Ooh,
It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, what's going on? Welcome back. If you can hear me loud and clear, please do let me know you can hear me loud and clear. Welcome back. And by the way, hit that like button on your way in. Let me just say, yep, I can hear myself. I think we should be good, but just let me know you can hear me on your end. My name is Ola. I'm coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. As you're coming in, hit that like button. Yes, we do have a special guest. She's already here. Live with Natu, my G. How you doing? What's going on? Just J, Jolaso Kemi Alpha. What's going on? Chinye, of course. Chinye is in the house. Welcome, Chinye. Good to see you. I have my brother here. Gracious Greatness. Oh, he's ready. I'm gonna reserve that. Yep. Let's see. We have who else? Chinye. I'm clear. Yes. What's going on, Mindrel? Good to see you, Mindrel. Brother Patrick, sir. Happy Sunday, sir. Good to see you, sir. All right, good. So let me do some quick because we have a long conversation. I want to get to it, right? Over here, Man of Prestige, we talk about everything: relationships, self, power, social, emotional intelligence, mastery, the heart of seduction and attraction, in and real love. That's what we talk about here. And if you want access to our book and coaching, you can get that at loveandprestige.com. And if you want to be notified, like I did just before we started live, if you don't want to rely on the algorithms, you can just join the WhatsApp group at olanola.com/WhatsApp. There you have it. Let me see who else is here with me. Okay. All right. Shout out to all 9 of you watching me right now. Do me a favor. Let's ping everyone into the room. How do you do that? Very simple. Hit like, share, and subscribe. That's how you do that. Okay. All right. This is going to be fun. Good. Today we're talking about patriarchy versus feminism and today's dating world. I do have a special guest. Okay. She's my sister from another mother. And listen, when we start this conversation, you're going to think that we grew up in the same house. So, but there's a lot we're going to talk about today. Let me just say that, right? But I do have Shion Obajolu here. Shion is a nurse. She's a coach. She's a whole lot of different things. And I think she's probably going to claim the most important thing that she is a mother. But I'm going to let her do the talking. Hold on 1 second. Without any further ado, I have Shion on the stage. Shion, what's going on?
Nothing much. Hey, Allah. What's up, brother?
And we're the same age. And what else are we? The same everything. What else?
same.
We agree a lot.
We agree quite a bit, yes. But I have to say, you're one person that I have. I have mad respect for you, for your journey, where you're coming from. I've been listening to you and your wife. You're one of those men that I will gladly listen to anytime. So yeah, I love that. I love it. Love your
What?
perspective. You're always sitting on the fence, though. That's one thing.
Right? You see, I have somebody who reminds me of that today. I like it when they remind me of that. That's awesome.
Right.
Today, it's not going to be any different. I will be on the
Yeah.
fence. you know,
See? Mm-hmm.
yes, we have to be able to. Somebody has to kind of remind of the blind spots, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have blind spots, But yeah, the first question I have for you today, before I get into it, let me first of all introduce you to the Prestige family. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
they're very, very spicy.
Oh, whoa,
Okay.
whoa, whoa.
Even the men are sassy.
Okay.
I'm just
All
kidding. I'm
right,
just
let's
kidding.
do it.
But yeah, so I said that WhatsApp link is not working though. It's working though. You have to go through a regular browser on your phone. Another way you can join, let me see here really quickly. You can literally just text a nice word to me at this number. It's a US number. And then you will get an instant reply with the link, with the proper link right from WhatsApp. It has to be a WhatsApp text. Okay, so that one should work. But anyway, yes, Seun, how are you doing? Seun, you're
I'm
like,
doing great.
I'm ready. I've been chasing you around for how long? Be honest. Okay.
A few years.
2 years, right? Well, not 2 years.
Yes.
Maybe the whole time we've
The whole
started.
time you started, yes. But
Yeah.
it's been really busy.
Yeah.
It's been busy for me. It's just I'm back now to settling in. So it's an honor. It's an honor to be here.
Good. It's my honor that
Yeah.
you said, "Hey, I think I'm ready." I'm like, "Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Let's have
Yeah.
a." And then I said, "What would you like to talk about?" And then you said, "This topic." You created a topic, and I like it that way because, honestly, I just want to have a conversation. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you and I, we have experience, okay,
Right.
and but I want you to tell us. First of all, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, right? And then your some background, and then anything you can share with us with respect to this topic and why it's a passionate topic for you.
For me. Okay. Well, my name is Shion Obajolu. Well, that was my married name. But that's what I'm known by. I'm a mother. I'm a mother to four beautiful, beautiful girls. And I heard you say that. Honestly, when I do look at my life now and I sit back and I think about it, I think that's one part of my life that I'm so, so proud of. Especially since I'm proud of the daughters that I'm raising today, and how I'm kind of trying to find that balance. We have that every day. But we're trying to raise them to be strong, powerful, dominating in their fields and all of that. But at the same time, also not teaching them to pander, but teaching them the basics of relationship and how what makes a relationship really work. They don't like to hear when I say some things about you got to submit to a man. They quickly say what. We're partners. I'm like, don't worry, we'll find out. But anyway,
Right.
so I'm a mother. I'm a nurse. I recently just graduated as a mental health nurse practitioner.
Wow!
Yes,
Congratulations.
thank you.
See,
Thank
you
you.
mean
So
business. You mean business.
you're speaking to a board certified mental health nurse practitioner.
Love
Um,
it.
all of this is because of my passion. I have a strong passion for life coaching, for coaching people to be the best of themselves. Because again, based on my experience, based on people I've worked with, I know that we do have the capacity to come from 0 to 100, as long as you're willing to work on yourself, right? So this is what kind of let me or gave me the passion to go back to school and specialize on that. So I have a
Wow.
long experience, yeah, with coaching, marriage, lifestyle.
Right.
Basically, my goal is just to make sure that people are living on purpose because we all have it in us. And my story will not be complete if I do not add that I went through a divorce about 5 years ago. But you know what? Divorce is not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It didn't mean that I didn't have a passion for marriage. I love marriage. I was married for 18 years. And I'll still do it again. In fact, I'm going to
Wow.
be doing it again. Yeah,
18
soon. So,
years.
yes.
18 years now, your mate.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, in the 5 years I've thrived. I've gone through healing. I've gone through the ups and the downs. But, went back to school. Look at me. I am the best of myself and I'm still healing. So I'm that typical story that do not depend on what's happening today to determine what's going to happen to you tomorrow. Take charge of your life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. I love it, and I'm glad that was a fantastic introduction really quickly so we can get to know you.
Yeah.
I like to spell out the nuances. Everybody wants to talk about the generalized stuff. Women don't listen. Men are just perfect. They are the prize, right? But I'm like, what do you mean? That's why I'm on the fence.
Oh, you'll be surprised where I am at right now. A lot of men are the prize, but yeah, we're
Men
not
are
gonna
the
go
prize.
there.
You believe men are the prize, right? That so men are the prize. Let me. I will be going back and forth, engaging our audience. Shout out to all 16 people listening to us. Just do
Yeah.
us a favor, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And I think there's an audience that will probably be brand new here today because Shion is a superstar on Facebook. So if you're watching from Facebook, we're actually trying to wake up the algorithms for our page on Facebook. Please do share and subscribe over there.
Please.
Yeah. And Shion, I'm going to drag you for this. We got to wake up your YouTube page. That page has been dead for how long now?
It's dead.
You do have a page up there.
I do. I just never really woke it up. But we're doing it now. Again, the journey has been about growing myself. Now I
Right.
think I'm ready. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's do it, And towards the end we'll talk a little bit more about some kind of continuity with regards to this conversation because honestly, this conversation it's going to be it's probably going to be a never ending, question, So now
Conversation.
are you in the dating scene right now?
I was, but I'm taken. I'm taken.
You're taking.
I was picked.
You got picked. You got picked. Now, I have some questions. I have lots of questions that we can't cover all of it today, right? Now, about what was that? 2 years ago when Clubhouse started, I invited you to Clubhouse. You made your way to Clubhouse.
You did. Oh my God.
Tell us your experience with Clubhouse so far, and if you can link it to this topic too,
Oh
that
my
would be nice.
goodness. So, Clubhouse started at a time when we all kind of needed it. We needed a place to kind of run to
Right.
COVID. And then I ran into a group of women. Yeah, and forgive me if you're listening. I'm feminist. I used to be feminist. In fact, I can't confidently say that anymore. But so I ran into a group of men and women who were on each other's necks. You're probably gonna fight me. I would say with men with some toxic masculine ideologies, and
Right.
then we have women with some toxic feminist ideologies, and everybody's on each other's necks, and I'm just
Bass
like,
boss.
ooh, and being someone who is honestly, and I'm going to be very transparent here. I think
Please.
now that I do look back at it, I was at a point in my life to where I could be slightly toxic. I don't want to even say I was toxic. I would say I was rebellious. Rebellious was my word, and I was rebellious because of my experiences at that time,
Right.
right? Because again, when you're going through certain situations, you want to fight back, and I think at that point
Yes.
I was pushing back, and that kind of gave birth to the rhetorics that I had, right? And then coming onto Clubhouse, and I'm just hearing some really crazy. Oh my God, I'm
And
just
you were
like,
like, whoa, it's not that deep.
oh.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
It's not that deep. I'm hearing
Yeah.
women saying, it's okay, we don't need man. When you get older, you can get yourself a dog. And I'm like, oh my God, no, no. Because again, I'm a mom to 4 daughters. I don't want them growing up thinking they can have dogs because dogs are not going to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Shion, I think majority of them are gonna have to buy a dog and die alone. Men and women.
Sorry. Uh-huh.
Men and women. And it's because of coconut head, and but I'm hoping not because that's why I'm having this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I can shed some light on this aspect of life where, hey, listen, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if you are married, single, or divorced. Whatever status you are, it's a blessing.
Right.
That's precisely where you need to be so you can see what you need to see. But everybody is focused on what's right and what's wrong, and
Wrong.
who did what's right and who's did what wrong. Who should we point fingers out outside of self, right?
Yeah.
And that's where, unfortunately, where everybody is at. A lot of people are, and for as long as you continue to be in that space, that's not your best leverage point. You're basically giving your power away, you
Yes,
know?
sir.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
Absolutely.
now, my first question for you is: how does patriarchy influence dating dynamics and relationships?
Oof. Um, first of all, maybe we should kind of explain what patriarchy means. Patriarchy
Thank
is
you.
basically um, a structure that consists of male, dominated power, is a male dominated power structure
Right.
where somehow women are relegated. And if we can say this and be honest with each other, I think that's what a lot of women got to know, right? And what we are. And this is what got us here today. That's what a lot of women are kind of pushing back against, especially with some,
Rebellious.
yes, especially with some specific cultures, right? I know you probably have a vast culture here, or people who are listening, but I'm African, and I know some of people who are African, and even here in the Western world, most of the time, what we've known from history is it's been a male-dominated structure. Because even looking back at it, I think even here in the United States, it wasn't really long that women were allowed to vote, right? So we cannot be ignorant of that fact. It was male dominated, women were relegated. And that's why we now had a group of women who started having a voice and saying, no, no, we're going to push back against this. Women need a voice too. Women need equality. We need to be able to vote. We need to be able to be doctors and certain things, right? And be role players, power players, right, in this game. And that's what brought about the rise of feminism, right? But that has somehow shifted, right? And now we're having this ideologies. It's just they're just kind of transitioning those ideologies. Yes, before it was more about social structure and all of that. Now we don't even know how to find the balance. Now we're hearing people say, what do you mean a man is the head of the household? To hell with that, we're partners.
Partners.
Yeah.
Partnership.
Yeah, there's nothing like he's not my partner. Yeah, we know that kind of thing. And now what we now see that's really funny, guys, and please just follow me. Now we now have feminism and all this, that has transitioned to kind of some toxicity that has been infused. Now we now have a new generation of men who are saying, who do you think you are? Like, what are you saying? Like, no, no. Men are women, men are still the prize. You women are this and that. And now they're coming up with their own standards of saying, listen, if she doesn't bring this and this to the table, she's not worth it. La 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 la. And now what are we doing? We now have this world where it's like, Jesus Christ, what's
Yeah.
happening, guys? You know,
Messy. Messy. They're confused everywhere. I have favorite languages
yeah.
for these people, but today I'm going to try my best to to refrain from those favorite languages. But when I started this platform, this was one of my favorite video to play. I'm going to play it real quickly and
Okay.
all right, I'll leave it there. Did you see that, or you want me to play it again?
Which one? I didn't hear. I didn't see. Oh, let me. Okay,
Just okay, yeah. You probably need to. Okay, no problem.
okay.
What it says is that when feminine men attract masculine women, right? So one of the major so many phrases and talking points you're going to hear a lot is masculine woman. Women are becoming masculine, right?
Yeah.
So can we blame this before I go to that? Are you a feminist?
I am feminist.
Okay.
I am feminist. I still believe in equality when it comes to certain things for women. Again, I'm a mom to four daughters. What do you think?
Right. Now, did you have a moment that you went through that you started to question, like, wait, this feminism title, right? Did you have that moment over the past few years, and why did you come to that space, and why did you finally conclude that, you know what, I'm a feminist?
All along, I found myself. I was one of those that grew up. My mom. Now that I really do look at it, I think my mom was a definition of a feminist, right? She worked, she was a career woman, she did her thing, raised her family, and that's what I saw growing up. But at the same time, I also saw that she gave a certain reverence to her husband, my dad, right? And again, just before I move on from that, I also saw that my dad also respected my mom. So I grew up with that. But then as I grew older, again, from my experiences, and as I found myself, I'm like, listen, what is this, especially from the culture we're from, that's so patriarchal? And I'm just like, hell no, like, no, this is not right. Women need a voice. So that's when I started to become a little bit more, open, open. And, my voice was a little louder. And I spoke out, about women having a voice. But like I said, over the past 2 years, as I got into certain platforms and I'm listening to the younger generation and the ideologies, I'm just like, it made me question, at a point when you asked me, are you feminist? Are you a feminist? I kind of cringed and I hesitated responding because I didn't want to represent those ideologies that we had that was represented in the fight. Okay. But as I've blossomed again, I found myself, I keep working on myself. I can still confidently say I'm feminist, but I'm not, I don't have toxic ideologies, right? I don't. And
Right.
with everything in this life, we have to have a balance. So, yeah. So I think I've come full circle again. But I still believe in feminism, in the feminism movement. I still do.
Now, can you give me one examples of some of those toxic rhetorics that was born off of, the new wave? I guess we can call it the new wave. Is it the fourth wave or third wave? Which one? Or some wave, the newest wave of feminism. Can you give us one of those examples?
Along the line, because again, we started to have like a rise in, relegation of women up to a point that kind of increased abuse in relationships. We now started to kind of push for women to, we had to, when it comes to abusive relationships, and I know that's a little bit specific, but there's a way that it kind of ties into this, right? You have to pull those women out of such relationships, right? And you have to tell them, you know what, you can stand on your own, you're better, without, being at
You're
peace
better
and
without
in
a man.
without a man. Like I'd rather you be alone than being in an abusive relationship. And somehow that has kind of brought us to a point where we now have women who are saying, I could do bad for myself. I don't need a man. We don't need man. I don't need man, right? We don't need men, but you keep getting into relationships, right? And you keep getting out of it because you don't need a man.
Yeah.
Right?
You're having sex, but you don't need a man.
You don't need a man, right? And then again, we're not here pushing anything or whatever. We're just having a conversation. But what really shocked me is these conversations are starting to become a reality in the minds of some women, where I'm hearing women saying, don't worry, to hell with men. When you get older, who needs a man? Go get yourself a dog or a cat. And I'm just like, I'm in that field where I take care of the elderly, and I know what it means.
Yeah, like that, like not yet, right? Like so early.
Yeah, do you know that? Have you been to a nursing home? They are having SEX in the nursing home.
They're having sex. These people are gonna keep having sex.
Talking about the elderly. They need that companionship. They're dating each other in the nursing homes, and they're elderly. Okay, so when we're talking now and telling my daughters to say they don't need men and you can get a dog, but I know that's not a fact. That's not a statement of fact.
Right.
So this is where I had to say, you know what, guys, this has to be discussed.
Right.
We need to find a balance.
Yep. We need to keep talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me before I go to this comment on the screen, I took a poll in the beginning. I said, do you believe that patriarchy is still a dominant force in today's dating world? 83% of the people are saying yes. 6% said no. And then 11% says unsure. What are your thoughts around that, really quickly?
You know why it will always be the case? And honestly, I really care. I love you. If you actually know who's speaking right now, I'm a woman who's very vain. I'm so full of myself. I believe in women adding value to themselves because honestly, I feel like as a woman and you add value to yourself, you become a little bit more attractive. Listen, I'm a mom to 4 kids. I just told you guys again. I can begin to just very humbly. I never had a shortage of men who wanted me to be in their lives. And I'm saying that boldly to you guys now. Never had a shortage. And I had women who were coming to me saying, I don't even have any man asking me out. Sister Shion, how are you doing it? Honestly, I I believe in having value. I believe in carrying yourself as if you are the prize. So me talking about men being the prize, I hope I can explain it. Now, talking about that question, listen, somehow women, we still kind of find ourselves at the mercy of patriarchy when it comes to dating. Um, we say women have a choice, but somehow, as much as we don't like talking about it, we still sometimes have to depend on men choosing you, on a man choosing you, because we keep saying, oh, don't go chasing a man, the man has to pursue you. But
Right.
somehow you are at the mercy of that man pursuing you and seeing that you're fit enough to be in his life as a wife. Why do you think we have a rise in women who their times are being wasted right now? We hear women say, oh, I dated him for 6 years and somehow he served me breakfast and he broke up with me and went ahead and married somebody else. At that point, who is at the mercy of who?
Yeah.
We need to talk about these things. As much as we want to push, certain rhetoric.
But it's the reality. It's the reality.
It's the reality.
So, but it's a reality because both sides of the divide find value that they want to continue to engage each other. So, if as long as you have some kind of value that you're looking for from the other side, you're going to have to concede at some level, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it becomes. Patricia says, or they say they can get a dildo. No, I need a man. Now, wait. Hold on 1 second. Now, this is not your first time of being my guest. You've been Lola and I's guest on the other platform, right? And then...
a lot more discussion is going. I don't like it right now.
and at the time... Right. I don't know if you still have, I don't know if you're still doing that. I think you are. You can still help a lot of people as a sex coach, therapist and stuff like that, right? So you know all quite well about this topic, right? So off of what Patricia just said, right? What is the reality when it comes to do women need a man or not? And can a dildo replace a man? What are your thoughts?
Absolutely not. Listen, before we go too deep, I'm an expert. I can tell you the best sex toys out here. Well, my daughter. This is a conversation. We're on our way because
Hold on. All right. Now, here's the thing. So, these are grown adults here. Feel free.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I was actually looking at my daughters, but then I'm thinking, what the heck? We're on our way back from church, and my 10-year-old, she was like, Mom, like, what kind of mom are you? Like, we are 8 and 10, and we already know SDX. We already know what.
They're grown. I saw them in your newest post. They're grown.
She's 10 and 8. This was the 10, 8, and 18-year-old who were having the conversation. But my 10-year-old was like, Mom, what kind of mom are you? We already know what SDX is, and we already know. And her sister, I didn't get involved. And her sister came back and said, yeah, that's good. That's the thing with mom.
That's a good thing.
Because now you know. And she asked them, I was not involved in this conversation while I was driving. And she asked her sister, she's like, okay, what does SDX bring? And she said, a baby. I said, you see, right?
Yep.
So I'm very, talking about sex toys, I could tell you the best sex toys on the market that will give you the best orgasms ever. But the thing is, also, I can also tell you, it's only good for a temporary period. It's only good to help you get through a particular phase in your life, right? Because I don't believe in sleeping around. And I also believe that the body, we have our needs, right? I was single for a little while. And that's one of the ways that I kind of kept myself. Let's not even cap here. There's a particular time of the month that the body is structured to have sex. Because that's when, yes, your body is, you need sex because you're going to have a baby. That's how the body is programmed. And then we become mad horny at that time. And at that time, you can grab anything you see. And, if you're not careful... you don't have the right tools. You can just be out here counting the numbers and just be with every man. And if we're talking about a woman that has value, it doesn't add any value to yourself when you're out there on the streets just opening your legs to every man and letting every man deposit in you. Our bodies are not even programmed for that. But that's topic for another day. So temporary period. But there's no way a dildo will replace a man. Can I be honest with you guys?
Yes, please.
I have not
by all means.
I've not touched my sex toys in almost a year
Mm.
because I just
Voila.
wahala. And because again, people will say it's because you have a man now, but I just kind of lost a
Right.
flair for it. Like I want the
Mm.
warmth. I want a man to hold me.
Mm.
I want the pulsating organ. So you get.
Oh,
So
makes sense. Oh, makes sense. Oh,
yeah,
makes
for a
sense.
temporary time, yes, when you need to get through that time. But no, there's no way your dildo will replace the man.
And all of
Mm-mm.
this to say that women,
Yeah,
dare you to speak for all women. They still
right.
need men, basically.
We do. We do. We don't. We might not want to admit it. They need us too. Let's be careful how we what narratives
Okay.
we're pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Men need women also. If men did not need women, they'll be out there marrying each other, right? Even though I'm hearing some
Right.
crazy,
I mean, they're doing it.
yeah,
Technology, technology age, and the other way, But
right,
yeah, but that we're gonna bring you back another day for the other aspect of things because the truth is that, like you said, people can go through phases even inside of marriage
yeah,
where you feel like you need some enhancement of some sort to spice
yeah,
things up. So
yeah,
we'll come back for that particular conversation.
right.
Um, yeah, they're going to change it to Kerewa. No, no, no. We're not going to talk about Kerewa topic today. We're going to stay
Uh-uh.
focused on patriarchy and
And
feminism,
feminism.
right?
Hmm.
Now, during your dating session, when
Yeah,
you were dating a little bit, right? What were the
yeah.
thing? What are some of the things that you can point fingers at? So, some example, if you will. Of what you would call patriarchy culture and how it affected the dating world we have today
Yeah.
in a negative way. And then while you are at it, tell me some of the things that you personally still want to stay, even though they're kind of like from the patriarchy culture, right? But you like
Right.
it that way personally, like me. You like it that way.
Here's a disclaimer before I go into that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I say here is my opinion. It's personal opinion,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So you don't have to go through that.
You don't have to
Um,
explain yourself to these people. I would drag them if they try to drag you. I swear.
it's a personal
Yeah.
opinion.
We
And
already did
again, it's
enough disclaimer. If they are not okay with it, they can go somewhere else. But the Prestige family,
I'm
they
a
don't even do that. Don't worry about it. We're
right.
balanced here.
I'm a 43-year-old grown woman. Okay. Married for 18 years. I was single for about 5 years in between. I kind of experienced the dating world again. I'm one of those who got married really young. I got married at the age of 21. So I dated quite a bit, but I think I was married the longer than I dated, right? So unfortunately, because I never envisaged that I would ever be in the dating scene or market again. I got thrown back into that dating world and I got to see some patriarchal culture still in place where, again, my situation was a little different. Where, because again, I'm now tagged a single mom. In the eyes of some men with that patriarchal mindset, I'm now, I now need men even more. I'm at a place where I'm at the mercy of a man, okay, because now I have baggages. I don't have one, not two, not three, now four children. So I had so many men, some men who came at me with that mindset that, hey, let me pity you,
Mm-hmm.
let
You
me
can
take you
run
out
here
the
lower now. Only Joanna.
let me take you out of the dating market for a little bit. You're a single mom of four. Let me help you. So even both the married men also. So there were some that kind of felt that my value had decreased because
Decrease.
now I'm now a divorcee,
So
right?
you're saying your sexual market
Value
value
and
was
dating
not
market
you're
value.
saying and dating market you're saying all of that was basically cap. Is that what you're saying?
Stop the cap.
I'm not saying it was cap. I'm saying it was reality.
Oh, it was
Okay,
reality.
to
Tell us
those
more.
men with
Oh,
the
to those
patriarchal
men.
mindset, yes.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
and again, we cannot run away from those rhetorics. There are certain things that decreases in the eyes of some men based on whatever they believe in.
Hmm.
That decreases our dating market value to them. You have men who are pushing now and saying a woman dated older than 26, you
Mm-hmm.
can't date her. A woman at 28, she's at the wall,
At the
right?
wall. 26 to what age is the prime? What's
Age
that
is
prime?
the prime. I think it's 28 to 29 is the prime. Anything above 30 now, they're saying you're at the
Over the
wall,
wall.
right? You're
Over
over
the
the
wall.
wall. Okay. So if you're having
These
men
people,
who are
man.
a group of men who are believing in that, what now happens to our women who are saying, you know what, go out there, get what you can get, be the best you can be, go get, be a surgeon, and then you get graduate at the age of 35, 36, and then we have the rhetorics of your dating value has decreased because of your age, right? So now I'll bring that to my personal experience. So mine was more related to the fact that I'm divorced. I'm a single mother, not of one, but of four children, right? But I did not let that move me, guys. I didn't.
Well, why do you think that's very important? And yeah, share a little bit more with us with regards to not letting that move you. Because when people, faith comments by hearing, right? So if people keep saying the same thing over and over again, you might find yourself start to believe that. Did that happen to you? Did you start believing
Yeah.
at some point?
At a point, and I'm going to be vulnerability here. At a point, because again, there will be times, and this is why I call cap on those women that say you don't need men, you're going to need your dogs and your cat. I have my kids quite all right, but there were times that I needed a man as a companion, someone that I could relate to, someone I could talk to, someone that I could, again, women were emotional. That's how we're created. We thrive on love and a loving, relationship. There were times that I did feel lonely. There were times that I'm like, oh my God, I miss being married. I miss having a man. I miss, those healthy relationship dynamics, right? And at those times, I was vulnerable because then I started to consider things I would normally not consider. I had all kinds of men, guys, I'm telling you. And again, that's because I was adding value to myself. So I had all kinds of men. I had the rich, the high and mighty coming to me. But of course, the rich, high and mighty who already made, they already had wives. Come on. They already had wives. So they're coming with me off with offers like, you know what? You can be my young wife. You can be my educated wife, and you can be in the United States, and you can come whenever I need you. I'll send my private jet over.
That
Yeah.
sounds so, that was probably tantalizing for you, right?
Woo! Yes. There were times I considered
Soft
it.
life.
Tough life. There were times. Again, I'm a woman who I'm hardworking. I made my own money. I don't depend on men for money. But when you're giving those kind of offers, and then you're thinking, you know what?
Right.
I have this
Like
offer.
like you didn't come
They,
to did you come to suffer?
I come to
Right.
this life. I consider that. I consider being a second wife for a minute. I consider there were different options. And being honest, guys, I have to be honest with you. When you're at a point of vulnerability, you will consider those things that you never thought. But when you do go back and you reflect and you say, is this really what I want? Then you can truly add. So don't let anybody confuse you right now and tell you, oh, you don't need a man, because you'll get to a point where you find yourself vulnerable and at the mercy of these same men that we said are not the prize. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
yeah. One of that you made some. I wish I could take all the points that you're making there, right? But they're obviously loving how honest you are, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of these conversations that people are having on both sides that are not honest. Some people are telling themselves lies, and some people don't know how to face reality, right? What we're trying to strike here is somewhere where we see reality, but we know what the possibilities are. We want to
Yeah.
do engage the possibilities, right? Because when if you start hearing men that have those kind of rhetorics, that's still your fault, because you're hanging out around the wrong type of men,
Yeah.
right? And it's very important that you realize that all 8 billion people in the world and all 2 billion men are not your circle. Your circle is your circle. At any point in time, it's probably no more than 25. That's if you're really a socialite.
Yeah.
If you're a normal person, you don't have that. You can change your cycle at any point in time, and that can change your reality very quickly, right? So
Yeah.
if you notice you're hearing such negative rhetorics all the time, and they're quoting statistics, real statistics that can tamper with your mental health, your believability, right? You're shooting yourself in the legs. All you have to do is really change your circle, because at the end of the day, there are, like I just said, there are 8 billion people in this world. There are people where your reality can go in more in the positive direction. There are people where your reality can go in the negative direction, and there's everything in between, right? And and people are getting married at all types of ages. Oh well, that's not the reality. The statistics, like, dude, the statistics off of 8 billion, at most 300 million people in America. All 300 million people are not in your circle, so I don't know how that's relevant.
Ola, I love your positivity, but I'm gonna tell you something.
Tell us.
Our circles become a little bit difficult to navigate once we get to certain levels, ages, situations in our lives. Okay, imagine an older lady. There's nothing wrong. I think recently we saw a 64-year-old woman who got married for the first time. But what is the percentage of 64-year-old women getting married?
Well, are we going to look at Americans, Black Americans, including people in diaspora, or we're going to look at the whole world? Exactly
The
what
whole
sample
world.
size are we looking at?
And the whole world. I'm going to go with the whole world. Well,
go with the whole world.
America, Western world, they're a little bit more open to, I think they're a little bit more open when it comes to dating older women, dating women who are single mothers, we have that. But then again, we cannot ignore what is the quality of the men that we have out there, especially for an older woman. Now, we're talking about what I need, what my requirements are. Or you might think because I'm a divorced, I'm a single mom, that what I need in looking for in a man would change. Yes, I still have things I'm looking for. They might have changed along the line, but honestly, I still have certain things that I'm looking for. I have specific requirements of a man, right?
Right.
So now, how many men do we think have out there that will fit what I'm looking for? As we get older too, we're going to be real. What is the percentage, or what are the percentages of men that we have that will fit?
So we have to be real too.
We're being real, guys.
Yeah.
I go through this every day, guys. Because again, I used to do like a connection thing where I'm connecting men and women. I see this all the time. I put out 3 men who seem to be doing well in their 40s. They're great. They have great jobs, make good money. Honestly, guys, I think for 3 men, I have like over 100 women who wanted me to connect them to these men.
Wow, that's the reality.
And
So I have a question, right? How much does because as men, let's be honest, okay? Even if we are suffering, right?
Yeah.
We're not necessarily trying to, it takes us a while before we get to that reality that, hey, I need connection. That's not something we just kind of admit to, even if that's the reality, right? Is that a factor in that situation?
I don't think not really.
Not so much.
Not so much. Not so
Okay.
much. I think a man, and again, you guys, please, just listen to me with an open mind. I've been tagged all kinds of names. I've been tagged, but you need to go look up my history. So I was at a point in my life where men couldn't stand me because I was pushing women out here like, you're not gonna accept no bullshit.
Feminist. Who needs men?
Who needs? Oh my god! But honestly,
forget man.
Again, guys, I've come full circle, and I'm looking. How do we now backtrack and kind of promote healthier rhetoric so that women still feel like, okay, you know what, I need to do what I need to do on time when I can. Okay, going back to what we're talking about, a man can find a woman anytime, whether we like it or not. You can have a 65-year-old guy who will go somewhere today, and there'll be a 25-year-old woman who will say, you know what, I want to get married to you. If you have the right everything in place, the money and things like that, and sometimes it's not even about the money. If you have a 65-year-old man who's good looking and has things going on for himself, there'll be a woman that will say, you know what, I'll do it. I'll be with you. I'll get married to you. But as women, as we get older, it's become a little harder.
It's harder?
Because it's harder.
Okay. There's a lot of nuances there, men are built from challenges. And women, the kind of women that men want, we don't necessarily like you to have a lot of scars on you. We don't like that. Okay.
Look at that. I can't stand you guys.
All right, with all, and when a man has scars on him, he can have he can he might have, even if he has a scar right in the middle of his face, somebody cuts him like this with that. There's something that draws, if he has good social skills, a woman can be drawn to him and be interested in his story, and that story can be sexy as hell just because it's been through something, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not the same story for a
For
woman,
women. Yeah.
sadly, right?
It's sad.
That's just the reality, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, the same rhetorics, I drag men. I drag them because I don't want men to think that they can get away with soft life or a woman having empathy for them, which I appreciate advocacy for men, but I
Yeah.
want them to realize that in reality, a woman is not going to be attracted to you if you haven't been through anything. So because of that, I'm going to ask you this question. A 65-year-old RMD. Look at her. Watch out, watch out. All right.
Why did you have
Assist,
to go there? Okay, go ahead.
a 65-year-old RMD, right?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay.
Who has been married? God forbid, he's a married man. God forbid, nothing will happen to his marriage, right? Let's say he's divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to a 65-year-old or RMD, he's never been married before. Which one is more attractive to you?
I will go with the 65-year-old RMD that's been married before.
Why? Explain that to this gentleman listening to me, because the amount was tantalizing as you were saying, a 65-year-old man can find a woman at any time and stuff like that. But you're basically saying somebody that's had experience, you will go with that. Explain that to us, please.
I'm not saying that a 65-year-old man who has not had experience will not find someone. He will find somebody that will go for him because, again, he's available. The percentage of women to men right now, we cannot help it, is higher, right? Even though I'm hearing also that they're saying it's the reverse, but based on what I know in the last research. But at the same time, for me and my age and the wisdom that I've had, I will question. See, I want RMD Zaddy all day. We know you people. Listen, I don't share.
Voila. Voila. Because
All right.
pressure tiwa.
Pressure what? Okay, so for me, I'm gonna come from a mindset that I'm not just gonna jump into it because I want to ask, why is this man still single at the age of 65? It's a lot of red flags to me right there. And for me, yes, because there should be a reason. There are reasons why a 65-year-old man who's never been married, right? Uh-huh. So I don't want to be in that mess. I don't want to help him to figure it out. I don't want to save him.
Jesus.
I'm not trying to save nobody. I'm not trying to be an experimental, thing for no man. I want to go to a man who has had the experience, who has seen what it means. That person, I want to meet him where he's at. Yes, by all means, I also want to observe or figure out why is he divorced twice or what happened also before I jump into that. Again, that brings me back to what I was saying, that we're thinking of the higher the older a woman is or the lower we think her dating market value is, that her there's this word I'm looking for that's just evading me, or like help me out.
Is this the
Well, it's not.
manosphere talking point or feminist talking point?
No,
Which one?
more like what am I looking for in a man? Is it my requirements,
Oh, preferences.
my
Your
preferences,
list. Your
my
list. They call it
list,
list or
my
something.
there's something, yeah. They're expecting that my list, I shouldn't even have a list. I should just go with any man. But
Right.
absolutely not. I'm not gonna go with any man. Again, that's why it's taken me 5 years to get to where I'm at today. I have so many offers before I actually decided to go with the man I'm with today, right? His
Yeah.
RMD look alike though, FYI.
Oh, it's RMD look-alike. Voila.
Okay.
Pressure Tiwa. Anyway, let's address this question real quick. Rebecca, shout out to Rebecca. Good to see you, Rebecca. Rebecca says, why do men see themselves doing single mother a favor when asking for their hands in marriage? I think that goes back to what you were saying just now, right?
Yeah, it goes back to that reality that we're not willing to admit to. We're after certain things, a specific age, you've been married before, you now having kids, your dating market value decreases. It's not anything of our fault. It's just the reality. So when they're
Right.
coming to you as a single mother, they see that you cannot be compared to a woman who doesn't have any kids or any baggages. Don't forget, you're not only coming as a single mom, you're also coming with the baggages that come with that. Okay.
Now, Shion, I'm gonna push back against you a little bit.
Push back. Here, let's hear it.
Stop the cap. All right. I know this man, and I know, and I've heard enough of you ladies. Right. On paper, what you said is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But I've seen you, I've seen this man pee on themselves when you talk in clubhouse. All right.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you why.
Oh yeah, tell us why.
We've said that.
This man that say the same thing, by the way, we're talking about this man that say the same things. Okay.
Okay.
All
Let me
right.
tell you why. And this is to any woman who's listening. I'm a grown woman. I have a certain sultriness. And I have taken control over the years. It took me a while to figure out what I am and who I am. Okay. And before we go too deeply, not everyone will be me. Okay.
That's true.
I'm a woman who has blossomed and has grown. I have a certain control. Oh, like I'm going to get you for this.
Wala wa.
I can't stand you. But yeah,
Listen, they see. Listen. I keep. This is Man of Prestige. This platform is called Man of Prestige, right? I believe that our society is a function of the status of the men. Particularly, what I'm showing them is really their power. Okay, their power is not in those rhetorics. It's not their power. Their power is them understanding women, and you're going to reveal a little bit to us today. So I'm going to go back to the question. Before you try to go away, try to run from the question again.
go ahead. I'm not running away from it. I'm being honest.
All right. So why is it? What did you do? Right. With respect to them, like you said, you're not. Everybody's not going to be like you, but there's something, right, about you that will make a man who will run around town, this internet street, say we will never be with a single mother, be asking for your hands in marriage, dropping to their knees, right? There's something, and I don't think it's them. I don't think it's you trying to be you person, but there's something about you that you've engaged, right? That other women can learn from here, but this man can also understand that they are capping. I need them to understand that they are capping big time, because these single mothers that are getting pregnant out here, they're not getting pregnant by themselves.
Yeah.
Some of them are being pregnant by this man.
Yes. You have to know the value that you have, that you carry. You have to know who you are as a person. You have to have the wisdom to navigate these men. But how many, I can share these tips, but how many of these women are really willing to listen to me? Listen,
That's word.
there's a wisdom. I believe, and I come from the school of thought, that men love to be respected. And I know how to pander to that without losing my self-respect.
Oh, it's something that the modern men and modern women think is a negative. You just spin it on his head.
Yeah.
Panda without losing. Because when continue.
I don't lose my self-respect.
I'm liking it. Continue.
And you talk about being on Clubhouse, and if you notice, whenever I'm on a male-dominated stage and I'm given the opportunity to speak, I don't come in with all that. Oh,
all that gra.
energy. No, I don't. You come in recognizing that, okay, these are a group of men. That's how they're built. All that masculinity, all that ego. And you're coming in as a woman. For you to get them to listen to you, you got to pander to that thing in them that they desire. And you see me come on stage and I'm like, respect to all the men on here. I'm not here to go against what you listen. Right there gets their attention. I'm like, And listen, that's a trick you need, even in a relationship, in marriage, because people say, oh, submission means weakness. Absolutely not. You can be
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That right. Hold on a second. We have to let that sink in. Okay. You have to let that sink in, right? By the way, did you guys know that men have to submit, and the most successful men in this world actually submit? You thought it was a different type of submission. You are so soaked up in your own pride, you can't calm down to listen. Showing you're the real deal. We talk about relationships here, but we talk about it with respect to self, power, and emotional intelligence, heart of seduction and attraction. Everybody is so soaked in their pain, they can't wait to slap another person with the same pain. And they're losing power effectively. You're pandering, or dead. That's why I'm controlling the room. So somehow you think, yeah, dumb, right? They are shutting you down. They're shutting your voices down.
They because they don't understand it. You hear terms like "pick me," and I'm like, I just smile. I say, you don't know. I'm far from being a pick me. I actually pick men in a way. I mean,
you pick men. Listen. Stop it, Sean.
I don't like you. I don't like you.
Wait, slow down. That's too much. Listen, I keep telling them. Listen, and you said something very important. Without losing your own value. Because I don't want men to be running around thinking that they need to be doormats. I don't tolerate that. Women don't like that. Okay, I think self-confidence is the sexiest thing alive, ever. So if you can see through your nose that this is just you pandering because you want somebody to drop panties in your back channel, it won't work. That's not what we're talking about. Elaborate a little bit more about what you're talking about, because we're not exactly saying just pander just because, right? That's not what we're saying.
Right. So the goal and the essence of a successful relationship, right? Or is knowing who you're dealing with and how to kind of work with that person. And it works with any relationship, business relationship, marital relationship, any kind of relationship. You have to understand that other person, so that way you can kind of, because let's look, for example, let's take, for example, a business relationship. You want to meet somebody, like, say I want to meet a big real estate mogul right now, right? I have to kind of know a few things about him. That way I don't, because if I come to him and I do something that would irritate him, I can disconnect him right from jump.
Yeah, it's a turn off. Neediness is turn off. Yeah. Right?
So you gotta know what it is about this person. And I know, like I'm saying, no matter how much we try to just undervalue this. There's a thing with men and respect.
Yes.
I don't even think they know.
No, wait. We have a pushback for you. Let me talk for them already. No, but we all need respect. Like, shout out to Grace. Grace found us on Facebook. Maybe this is one of your people, because we're not really popular on Facebook like that.
I know Miss Grace.
Okay. Grace exceeding. She said, I agree with Shion with that response. However, the women also need to place premiums on themselves. Maybe she was thinking ahead of us. The fact that a woman is a single parent doesn't make her a second-hand person. If Shion saw herself as less, she wouldn't have waited for 5 years before choosing. Not being picked, but picking. Waiting, praying, and working on yourself will earn you a better man. And I guess this is a very scary thing for certain types of people, especially if you're hanging out certain arenas online. They will scare you. There's fear mongering going on with those real stats, right? Those real 1 out of 4 black women are not going to be married, right? So these are real numbers, but why can't you be the one? Like, who told you you're not going to be the one who is married, right? And those are the questions that you want to ask yourself at the end of the day, because what if you end up being the one, but is the fraction of the one in a terrible relationship, right? What help does that do for you, right? So Ms. Grace do have a point there, and that's what we're saying, which is confidence. And I think
that's exactly what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Along with that being said, there's something I've been trying to, I'm not avoiding speaking on it, but I'm being careful how I put it out here. I think one very important thing that helped me, as much as I desire and I appreciate and I really want to, I love the institution of marriage, right? Again, that's me.
Yeah.
One thing that helped me is that I was not desperate.
Yes.
From the jump, I said to myself, I can afford not to, as much as I want to be married again. I'd rather be single and take care of my kids than find myself in a situation where I'm being undervalued, I'm being disrespected. I go through some things that I'll never go through again. But
Right.
why was it easy for me? I think, and I'm being real, guys. I think it was easier because I have walked marriage 18 years. I've had, if I never get married again, guys, I'm fine.
You're
I
good.
promise. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have done that. I have kids. I have four children. My oldest daughter is going to be 20 this year, right?
And
So
she I saw her went on the prom, she just entered college, all
that was
type
the
of
second one. That's the second daughter.
that just went to college. That's the
Yes,
second
that she's going
one.
to college. First daughter is already in college, right? So, guys, it
God
was
bless your heart,
easy
yo.
for,
But
amen, amen, thank you. It was easy for me
Mhm.
to be patient and take my time, but there could be somebody else who is in a totally different situation. I
Right.
could have a 44-year-old woman who's never been married, who has not never had any kids. Time is running out biologically.
Hmm.
She has all the external pressures. She has family pressures. How would that person not maybe be seem desperate? How would
Hmm.
that person not diminish her value to
Yeah.
kind of conform and get, so it's very, very, it's
Yeah.
dicey. But at the same time, it's very important to not undervalue yourself. Don't
Yeah.
lower yourself
Hmm.
value or self standards because you
Is that what you
are
were trying
trying
to
to,
say earlier? Don't lower your standards.
yeah.
Non-negotiables. Is that what you were talking about?
Yes, the standards. Standards is
Okay.
what I
The
was looking
standards.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah, my standards. My standards might have shifted. And here, you guys, let me say this.
Mm.
Based on who I am and
Oh, her signal. She'll be right back. She'll be right back. The signal is acting up there. She'll be right back. Let's see. Are you
okay, sorry,
back?
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. That was I know
Okay, there
I'm
you
on
go.
an airplane.
Right. Uh-oh. Yeah, the signal is acting up. That's okay. Oh my God. How if you're enjoying this, let me know. Tell me, talk to me. Let me know you're enjoying this. If you're okay, I think she's back. If you're enjoying it, just say one in the chat. Say one in the chat if you're enjoying this. Say one if you're enjoying this conversation. I had like about 50 questions for sure. I've only tackled only one.
Hey,
But I'm
Jesus.
but I'm
Okay,
okay
let's
with
go.
that.
Let's go. Let's
No, no,
go.
no. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm okay. This is how these things go. Because I don't. This is not gonna be a one-time conversation. You know that, show.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah,
We'll be
yeah.
back.
The second poll question that I asked. Let me end this poll. Was have you ever? Let me see here if it can pop up real quickly. Have you ever felt pressure to conform to traditional gender roles in a dating relationship? 50% people say no. Yes, yes. 35% say yes, and 14% says unsure. What are your thoughts around that?
I need to push back. What is the traditional gender role in dating right now?
Yeah,
It's
what are
become
those?
very it's become very hard and brings
Hmm.
us right back to the topic.
Hmm.
Now I'm having conversations. There's this traditional gender, role thing, that expectation that, men are providers, they're the protectors. If they're the man, they should be the one asking for the date, they should be paying and all of that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have that. But now, while we're also pushing feminism, saying that we're pushing for equality for women,
Hmm.
right? We're saying women are saying, "Oh, I have my own money, I can do this," but at the same time, we still want to conform. We still want to somehow conform to that traditional dating
Right.
gender role. I can't. It's confusing. Now I'm hearing more men are saying, and you guys listen to me. This is based off conversation from about a month ago, the past 1 month, with men
Mm-hmm.
of these days, right? Men now are saying, if they go on dates with a woman and she doesn't make an effort to contribute to that date in any way, she's canceled.
Yeah,
Allah,
that makes me cringe. That's the reality.
Allah, that's where we are right now.
That
And do you
makes me
blame them
cringe.
though? Do you blame them?
So, as always, that's a good question. That's a fantastic question. That's like you just give me an out. I was thinking, but you give me a quick out. You give me a quick out by using one of my buzzwords, number 3 on the screen, right?
Blame
It's
my
not.
fault.
It's not about blame. That's not this conversation. It's more so. This is what this conversation is about. It's about seduction and attraction,
Well,
right? That's what it's about. I don't blame them, but they go collect wood to wood to. Oh, more. Yeah, no girls is gonna want to sleep with you with that mindset. Are you mad to me? His emotions, your mate. You go collect. Listen, you get to be right, right? Listen, Auntie Kamala comes here all the time to tell us we're right.
You're right.
You're right. However, blue balls now your mates. Hey, more. Continue. Continue.
Allow you to listen. I like where you're coming from, but I'm telling you right now, in these days of sexual liberation, you'd be surprised what women are accepting these days.
So here's the issue with that show, right? Like the rest of all the rhetorics, they are absolutely correct on paper. In real life, majority of the men in this conversation, they are in the box of 30% of men under 30 who are not having sex, not because they don't want to have sex. They are literally socially awkward.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
Okay. It's still not majority, but that's a lot of men between 19 and 30, right? That's the reality. Like when they are barking on the internet, and I mean that with all disrespect because I need them to get it correctly, right? When they are on the internet barking, that's given. Why are you angry? Like, oh, I know why. Because of this rhetorics. They're not wrong. I'm not saying they're wrong. The same thing with the ladies. They will collect.
Yeah.
Right? If not worse. Because these people are going to have sex and drag themselves in the custody court eventually.
Yeah.
Even if they avoid marriage. Because the need to have sex is nobody's mate. The need to procreate at a very subconscious level. Not, oh, I don't want to have kids. No, I'm not talking about what you say out of your mouth. I'm talking about the reality. You're going to have kids. You're going to end up having sex with a person that will end up resenting you for this rhetoric at some point. Right? Yeah. So the conversation is not complete until we bring in the emotional aspect of things. On paper, they're not wrong. Yeah. And that's precisely one of the major issues. Because it's almost hard to prove them wrong until they've hit rock bottom, until maybe 10, 20 years from now. And they're like, yeah, where did time go?
We're gonna have rock bottom on both sides.
On both sides.
As much as we want to, and this is why it is important that we start to have these conversations from a balanced perspective. Because guess what? There'll always be those people that will be on the receiving end, right? And this is what we feed our daughters from the get-go. Listen, guys, I've told my daughters from the beginning, right? Please be careful about sex. This is what can happen. As much as we push and say, oh, when a woman gets pregnant, the guy too, she's not the only one that will deal with it, and blah, blah, blah. But guess what? About 80% of the problems, of the everything that's associated with carrying a baby and taking care of that baby is on that woman.
Yeah.
Let's not even clap.
Yeah.
You're going to go on because again, listen, what is going to happen, or like we're not having this conversation and we're not being practical is you're going to have men. So we are talking about blue balls. They'll do what it takes to get that blue ball taken care of. Oh, you want me to pay for 100% of that date? I will pay for it. I'm going to fuck you one night and I'm done. And that's it. They know, but it doesn't mean you're going to be their wife. It doesn't mean you're going to be picked as the wife. And we're still going to come back on the internet tomorrow and going to cry. Go on the internet today. What is the percentage, or is it what gender typically comes online to say, I will serve breakfast? What gender do you normally see?
What are you talking about 3 years ago or now? Before COVID or now?
Even now.
All right. So it depends. I don't have the stats. It's always been women, and my problem is that we have an increasing number of men doing it. That's one of the biggest issues, right? Okay. It's always been women. When I was growing up, there was this thing that says, "Egbe kiloko oshe." When women gather in a social gathering only to drag men. That was always a woman thing, right?
Yeah.
But we do have a great. It's going viral. Okay, Kevin Samuel didn't just pop out of nowhere in the last 3 years. We have a just what's her name? Just Auntie Pearly. What's her name?
The red pill lady.
Yeah. Just per things, right? We have an increasing number. Their supporters are men. Dele Aremu, shout out to Dele Aremu. Say, Alaye, where did you get your statistics? You can Google that. That's literally everywhere. A third of men under the age of 30 have blue balls, literally. Okay, that's everywhere. It's been spoken about on Real Time with Bill Maher. It's actually main media talk because they're afraid of angry. The last thing you want in our society is a bunch of angry men. That's not a good look, right? So we're actually trying to address this. That's the point of this. But you can Google that. That comes up everywhere. So, but the point we're talking about here is particularly again. I think
traditional gender roles when it comes to dating.
You understand men, Shion, right? And you have a tendency, because we've engaged in this conversation so much, you have empathy for men. After watching what has been happening over the past 3 years, right? And I am a man, so from that standpoint, I'm like, well, Shion is dangerous. She's going to seduce your ass, and she's not going to give you none because she's not really attracted to you. Okay.
Oh my god! Allah, shut up.
Shion is looking for a manly man.
Oh my god!
Shion is not going to date an RMD that has never been married before at 65. She wants you to have some experience, not crying like a bitch online. Right? So my job is to point out those nuances, the part that they don't talk about, right? And I appreciate all sides of the conversation because I think people can go back and not necessarily agree with me. They can reflect on that, right? So I think, there's something I want you to point out because we're talking about the self-confidence thing, and you said everybody cannot be you.
Yeah.
Right? And I agree with that. So people that can be you, that's going to be majority of people. That's going to be everybody, actually. Right? What is it that they need to drill in on, the ladies that are listening right now? Because these women lack game. They don't have game. See, I always talk about men don't have game. But today, let's talk about women not having game. Give them some game with respect
you're going to be letting me give off my secrets now.
Just
all my boys that are listening, they'll be like, hey, so that's what you do. Okay.
They still work on them. They are lame. They still work on them.
All right.
Don't worry.
So number one thing, ladies. Number one thing, if you're listening to me, you have to work on your self-confidence. And you're listening to a woman who has been through a lot. And I'm being very honest. I've been through a lot of things that could deflate my self-confidence to zero. But what happened was I got to a point where I decided, you know what? It's either I let this thing take me out, or I go back to the drawing table and I decide to fix myself, right? So, you too, they fumble. They
don't like when I drag them. Men are soft. Men are just soft everywhere. They can't handle it when I drag them. It's okay. Let them keep talking. I will highlight them. Continue.
All right. So, you have to work on your self-confidence. That's key. You asked me, how can I work on my self-confidence? I can give you a lot of tips, but I'm going to focus on a few things.
Yeah.
You got to be aware of that thing that deflated your self-confidence. Was it a relationship with the wrong person that constantly made you feel like you were nothing? Was it a relationship with your parents? Because again, sometimes we think it's all about male-female relationships. Sometimes it could have been the parents that raised us. Some people have parents who constantly told them that they were nothing, right? And this is where, as parents now, let's be careful what we put into our children. You can either be reducing their confidence or be helping them build their confidence. Let me give you an example. I'm one that, I thrive on personal examples. I'm raising daughters now. My oldest daughter is a bit on the slimmer side. She's, the paper, the culture, what people think as, oh, this is skinny, blah, blah, blah. My second daughter is a little bit on the bigger side. But I saw that when they were growing up, I could tell that she was struggling a bit with her self confidence. And, she wanted to wear the things that her sister was wearing. And it took me a while to get to her and to say, listen, you are gorgeous, you're beautiful. But there are just some things that will look good on your sister that might not look good on your body type. So just
Yeah.
find what works for you and listen to me. I figured that, because again, she's on the bigger side, she wanted to wear crop tops. Guess what? I didn't stop her from wearing crop tops because I knew at that point, and this is critical because my mother is helping me raise them. And you know what it is to have an African grandmom. And the
Yeah.
next thing she freaks out like, why does she consider, why is her stomach out? And I'm just like, Mom, please allow her.
Suruni.
Yeah, allow her. Because I
Patience.
knew whatever I did at that point, she was trying to get her self-confidence up there, right? So I didn't stop her because if I told her then like, your stomach is not fit for this, what would it do to her? So whenever she got
Yeah.
dressed in those crop tops, I told her, hey girl, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous. So now it helped her. So it could be that also. What is that thing that has deflated your self-confidence? If it's something you can fix, fix it. People
Yeah.
say, oh, I can show you guys before and after picture of myself maybe 8 years ago and now I look way better. I did
Right.
things to help myself. I was a little bit overweight. I lost about 35 pounds. I could fix that part. I started working on my skin. I started figuring out hairstyles that I feel like look better on me, right? I did things that I could fix and also mind things. So fix that confidence. Now, at a point when I walk into a room, I'm looking at people that, oh, will they like me? Are they going to want to talk to me? Now I walk into a room and my head is high, like I decide who I want to talk to. It has taken me a while. Build your self confidence. Self confidence is key
Yes.
because what happens is at that point, there's nothing anybody will bring to you that will shake you. That
Absolutely.
way, you can pander to what a man wants without feeling like you're less.
Right. Right.
I'll
And they
give
can
you
and they
see.
can see through if you lack confidence. That's one of the
They
problem with
do.
majority of people that pander.
Hmm.
They is them trying is a quick fix. Quick fix
Yeah,
doesn't work, right? If you're
yeah,
talking, if you're a man and you're talking to pander to women so they can like you, they can see through that. If you're a woman and you're talking pandering to men just so they can like you, they can see through that. The foundational part of it is what you're talking about, which
right.
is that confidence that comes from inside, not other people validating you.
Yes, I'm going to give you a personal example. I don't know who's listening to me. I'm very busy, right? And I know a lot of people are busy, but I don't, and I'm not a phone person. I don't, I believe in exchanging them. People say, oh, don't give out your numbers. I will give out my number. You want to date and you're afraid of giving out your number? Give it out. And people wonder why. I said, the reason I determine who I'm going to talk to, I determine how many times I'm going to answer your call. I make that determination. If you like, call me 20 times, I will not
Yeah.
answer if I don't want to answer. And over time, you will get the message. Now, let me tell you this. I can have, and this is just a personal example. I have somebody call me or try to reach me about 20 times, right? Typically, a man should be getting upset, like, what is wrong with her? What is she feeling like? And then I get that. You know what I do differently? As a woman, I know the power is in my hands. When I now eventually answer that call, I don't say, "Oh, why are you trying to call me? Why are you calling me? Don't take my call. Don't bother me." I'm very respectful. I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's not what you think. I just been busy and blah blah blah." And guess what that does? Right there, I've pandered to you. I've not disrespected you, even though I was stylishly disrespecting
Right.
you, but I didn't throw it in your face. Guess
Yeah.
what? That is control.
Now,
That is control.
how do you consolidate between pandering? Because one of their talking points, I'm just telling the truth.
I love it. I want to.
I'm
Okay.
just I'm just telling the truth. Why can't we just if you don't tell the truth, the whole life, this whole world is going to devolve. No, it's a sex life that will continue to devolve. But that's if you tell the truth. If you're just telling the truth blindly. But then
Yeah.
don't worry, don't worry. They like when I drag them. I want them
Uh-huh.
to talk more. I want them to get it out. But how do you consolidate between because obviously lying, cheating, and stealing is wrong, right?
Okay.
How do you consolidate between this pandering of a thing
Oh
and
gosh.
not lying to people?
One of the things about self-confidence and adding value to yourself is knowing what you can accept and what is disrespectful to you. Lying and cheating is disrespectful to me, and I will probably not want to take that. I'm not saying it's going to be a consistent, what's that word, or hard, oh gosh, all these words are eluded me this evening.
Mm.
Some people say, oh gosh, to some
Mm-hmm.
women, cheating, lying is a no-no. They're not
Right.
gonna take it
Mm-hmm.
and not gonna accept it. To some
Right.
women, it's like, okay, if you can work through it and all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to know what is important to you.
No, no, but
What is
I'm talking about you talking to me as a man, or
uh-huh.
you're talking to your child about her weight, right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
But you use the word pandering. To some people, pandering is like you're telling
Is
a
lying to
lie to
them.
them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, again, the key to relationship and communication is knowing how to divulge and how to relay whatever information, right?
Mm.
I'm not lying. Well, how do I put this?
Right.
Sometimes it's not what you're saying, but how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of
It's
times
how you say it.
is how you say it, right?
Mm.
There's certain things ways I can tell my daughter and say, babe, this, I think it would be better if you pulled it down a little bit more versus saying that doesn't look good on you. Look at your stomach. Your stomach is big.
Yeah.
It's fat.
Yeah.
How? I was trying to pass the same message, but I did that differently.
Yeah.
So sometimes, a
Yeah.
lot of times, it's how you say it, but it's not the message being passed out, but how it's being said.
Yeah.
Again, it comes back to that pandering, and pandering can be anyone. Men
Mm-hmm.
pander to women a lot of times too. Sensible, wise men. Ola, you are a typical example.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
there's
why
a
they call me
reason.
on the fence. That's why they say I'm on the fence.
Honestly, and if there's anybody who's listened to me now, I smile when I hear men because again, I know and I've heard Ola's story.
Mm-hmm.
Ola is one person who he hasn't lost his masculinity in any way. He hasn't lost who he is as a man, but he has just learned more how to deal with a woman, right? Women are very complex. We're very complex. We're again, I'm speaking
Just complex, or that's another statement. Which one are we talking about?
understatement, okay? And I'm a woman.
Oh,
So one,
Barry.
yeah, one of the keys, a wise man knows how to pander to his woman in order to make that relationship successful. A
Right.
wise man knows how to be the leader without necessarily making the woman feel relegated. So we pander to each other every day. So this is not only about women pandering to
We
men
all we're
alone.
all gonna do it anyway. It's called selling.
Exactly.
It's called selling.
But to the men
Yeah.
with toxic ideologies, Ola, what would they call you?
Or they call me a simp.
A simp.
Yeah. I always wait for this is how I detect the simp in the room. The first person that calls me a simp. That's the simp. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't
But
know
I
what
don't
they're
tell I don't
saying.
tell them that anymore because it's like, no, I just need to now I need to pander to him. He's asking me to pander to him, essentially.
Exactly to what he. So yeah,
I'm like, we're in everybody.
you
Oh,
can
lame.
pass the message across without necessarily pandering, but you can just. It's not about what's been said, but how you say it and
Yeah,
how they
yeah, yeah.
receive it is
You
key
know,
on how you
simps,
take it out.
simps, simps are slave. The real simps, they are slaves to words, right? They're slaves to words. For them, they need to. Before I talk, now they'll go and pull a dictionary meaning. That's how lame they are. They're like, but that's not what they means in dictionary. I was like, oh, they didn't. So I'm actually trying to learn right now, like what you're saying, right? Is how I say it, right? And I think
Yeah.
I do a good job because they're here. I see the percentage of men increasing. They listen behind the scenes until they gain a little bit of power, and then they start coming out. Like, let me see. There might be one of them here right now. Let's see. Akin says, "Una de mission." Let me debunk una. Una go collect. You see. Yeah, it's like you're talking to a 30-year-old. Jesus Christ. But anyway, these are men. Some of them are 60 plus years old men, and when they tell their story, very soon, sooner than later, they'll tell you they've been divorced, and that's where it's coming from. That pain is nobody's mate. And I have empathy for that, and I want people to understand that I do, and I always work on myself in terms of how you say it, but I also
Yeah.
mix it up with a little laughy jokey here and there. That's why I can be
Did
on.
you ever tell anyone what your wife used to call you at one point before you worked at your
Tell them,
job?
Shion, you want to tell them, just tell
Let
them.
me think.
Tell them. See, you just want to tell
You
them.
guys are listening to Ola now. And when I say, oh, he's a simp and blah, blah, blah. His wife at one point called him Idi Amin. She called him, Idi Amin was a known
Idi Amin,
Idi Amin was a known terrorist leader. Okay?
Yeah.
This is the man. Now we're calling him a simp, right? What does that tell you? That's reformation. That's a man who knew, you know what? Do I want to lose my family? Or
Yeah.
do I want to just do certain things, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't mean you're less of a man, Ola. It just means that you know what it means to be a leader. A true leader
Yeah.
knows when it is time to kind of give over some
Yeah, if you
power,
if you if you if you
especially
have
when
if
in
you
the
have to
middle.
tell us that you're a leader, you're just not you're not that
You
guy.
failed. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're not that guy.
Hmm.
That's all it means, you know. But yes, I have a few people here that wants to chop it up with you, you know. So I'm gonna bring them right to the stage.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We have first of all we have Brother Patrick. Brother Patrick, sir, happy Sunday, sir.
Yeah, happy Sunday, Shion and Ola.
Happy Sunday, sir.
Yeah, I've been enjoying Shion. Thank you for coming on board, Shion.
My pleasure.
We really appreciate you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
for the word of wisdom that was coming as a wow.
Mhm.
Shion has blossomed. I saw you last in our socialized show.
Yes, sir. I have
That's
blossomed.
true. That's how we met. I almost forgot a
Yeah,
part. That's how we met. Yeah. Shout
Shion,
out to Dr. Shola.
Mhm.
thank God for your wisdom that you are sharing with us as a mother and as a wife.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
said something which I really loved. You talked about a woman, even at the father, you have 4 kids,
Mhm.
and you are a single mother,
Yes,
and
sir.
the way you go back to the dating game was like,
Yes, sir.
wow,
Mhm.
wow.
Yeah.
And that's what most women are missing. Yes, you knew what you wanted, how
Yes,
to go
sir.
about it.
Mm.
You are. It doesn't make you less shame by being respectful to your man. Yes, it's part of humility.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yes, it enhances your beauty as well.
Mm.
Yes, men look beyond just your face.
Yes, sir.
What you got to offer is a complete package. Your value.
Yes, sir.
Let me just put it that way.
Mm.
Mm.
The man doesn't care. But I don't care if she has 4 kids. We are going to die together.
Yep.
This is my babe.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mm.
yeah.
Mhm.
You have not really changed. The fact that you had 4 kids and got me, you are still the same Sheon. But look at the way you are able to market yourself. I'm just saying that so that other single women in the house will learn from what you have just taught us.
Yes, sir.
It goes a long way by just being humble yourself.
Mhm.
I know for me, one thing I hate, I can't marry a troublesome woman.
Yeah.
Because I'm a loving man. I like to talk with people. I'm
Mm.
not a cheater. My wife knows that.
Mhm.
Yes, I would never, I'm not saying I'm perfect.
Yes, sir.
I try as much as possible. God, I won't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So let me just end up. I really appreciate the fact that you talked about being respectful, respect your man.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what men crave for. Yes, it doesn't
Absolutely.
matter your position, it could be
Mhm.
anything, but that your man, and your man too will respect you. It's gonna be 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna enjoy yourself. Let me write up by saying one thing from my own experience.
Yes, sir.
You must like your man and your man must like you.
Mm.
Yes,
Mm.
Very important.
cannot respect somebody you don't
You
like.
don't like.
Exactly.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yep.
my wife, we've had our own ups and downs.
Mm.
And recently we decided to take family picture, and my wife and
Oh.
I decided to take one picture, and all what she
Oh.
wanted on that picture was, I'm looking at the picture now, you wrote there with love signs, and she wrote, "You are my everything."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, are you really sure?
Are you sure?
Allah, have you thought of that before?
Mm.
Women, they don't bring it out fully until they are really convinced that this is the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You agree with me, Sheil?
Yes, sir.
Yes, they will know
Absolutely.
it that you are the person, but they will not say, they will reserve it.
Mm.
Yes, women don't really come out like that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sheil. I really appreciate you.
My pleasure, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you
We all
for the
love you.
feedback, sir.
I
Thank
think I'm
you.
going to take this to the pulpit as well.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yay. Thank you,
I'm going to
sir.
mention your name, Sheil. Am I allowed?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. Thank
Yes,
you so
and
much, sir.
Ola as well.
Sean will not be a stranger here now, so no
I'm coming.
worries.
Yeah. It's taken us
Yeah.
a few years. I'm back now. I'm back. Let's do
Thank,
it.
Say me well to your family and your lovely husband as well.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. He's not yet a husband, but he's coming. He's going to be a husband soon.
Yes, amen.
Amen.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Yes, sir.
you.
All right, let me bring up Mbasi. How are you?
Hey,
Are you there?
hola.
Hey, happy
I'm
Sunday,
here.
my sister. How are you
Happy
doing?
Sunday. I'm good. How are you?
Very
Hi,
good, very
Sean.
good.
Thank you so much for joining us this
Hello. Hi,
afternoon.
sis. My
We
pleasure.
really
Thank you.
appreciate your wisdom. It's like,
Thank you.
I mean, everything you are saying is hitting the spot for me because, um, so I am in my late 40, right? And I just recently divorced. So, but it's like for me, I look for every avenue to learn and to in order to better myself and just everything I'm doing. I just at this point I'm trying to do everything to just heal from the past and able to
Yes, sir.
embrace my present and take that to my future. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, ma'am.
every every information that's coming from people that I know that I can learn for, I don't really look at the age. I usually look at the experience and the wisdom that's coming from them.
Yes, ma'am.
And I often just like want to use it and use it. I mean, take it and use it for myself. So thank you both very much for giving
Our
us this
pleasure.
avenue to be able to learn. So there's
Yes,
something
ma'am.
that you were saying when it's come to sexuality that I want to just point on. Like for a lot of women that when you are going through rough time in your marriage, because
Yes,
I gotta
ma'am.
tell you, to be honest, when I was going through my marriage, the destruction of that, one of the things that keep attracting me back was the sexual part of it. I'm not lying. It's so
My
like
sister.
no, I'm not
Shay.
lying. I'm not lying. I'm not.
I love it.
That's one of
Auntie
oh,
Mbasi,
no, for real.
one long, one long.
No, I have to. I mean, it's like that's one of the things that at the time I didn't know that. At the time I didn't know that because for one thing I didn't even know how to take care of that part. Really, I didn't want to be sleeping around because it's just not that would not be me, right?
Yeah.
So it's like when things go and then he come back, whatever. I was like, oh well, whatever, and then boom, I'm right back in there. When I was ready to actually finally walk away. And I remember asking my therapist, like, so how do I go about this part? Like, I'm a woman in need of a touch of a man every now and then. What? Then I have to, consider my spirituality. What does mean in my spiritual world? Because I had to consider that me as a spiritual person. So, and I was asking my therapist, it's just happened that my therapist happened to be a professional therapy at the same time a religious person. So I got 2 in 1 of that. Right. And he was the one that explained to me, I mean, really, he's a man, but he was the one that explained to me as a woman how I can do it in a way that will help me to achieve whatever it is I'm looking for sexually in order not to compromise myself in a bad way. Or my value. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was a game changer for me. Amen. Again, that was one of the things that kept drawing me back. I'm sure it's different for everybody, okay? Yes, but that's one of the things. So when I was able to take care of that part, I was like, what? So it kind of opened my world into another level because I grew up very, I don't know, nobody talk about your sexual need. Who care about that? Nobody teach you on any of things like that. It's not part of the culture. And I grew up very guarded, and that you only just sleep with one person. And I'm still in that frame of mind, right? But there's no other way to just, when you are in the situation that I was in, I couldn't find the way to kind of cut myself off of it. Because it's what I needed it. I need it. It's like, so how do I go about this? Anyway, I get to the point that I am today because of the fact that I was able to be open and ask the question. And I wasn't shy away because I'm not a shy person when it's come to, taking care of yourself, really. I'm not shy in that area at all. So I was able to get the answer that I need, and it kind of helped me to be where I am today. Now, fast forward to the dating world, like today, as I'm talking to you right now, I'm okay. Like I'm good.
Yes,
because I'm
ma'am.
good. And I said that because, first of all, I've had experience of 14 years of marriage, right? I have my own kids that I'm still trying to, this
Yes,
little human I'm
ma'am.
trying to raise to become a decent adult. I'm busy. Really, I'm
Right.
busy. So whoever is going to come to my world, I always said, you better know what you're doing. And I don't mean that in a way that arrogantly, but please know what you're doing.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
Because I'm right here trying to figure me out. And until I figure me out, and every day I kind of like the person that I'm becoming, because again, everything takes time. And
Yes, ma'am.
when you embark on a healing journey, this is how it's supposed to feel like. So I kind of, sometimes I feel like maybe I'm healing too much because I don't really feel the need that I need somebody else in my space at
I'm
this
healing
point.
too much.
You know, but I know I'm a I'm a lover. I love love, you know.
You're hopeless romantic, eh?
I love it.
You know what I
Love it.
mean? So, but at the same time, I'm giving myself time and grace. I'm enjoying my life as it is right now. I'm enjoying my kids. And whoever is going to come to that space, or I'm going to share that space with, or they're going to share space with me,
Right.
please, God, they just have to know what they're doing. That is the most simplest thing I can say at this point. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Thank you, Leon.
Thank you
Sister
so much.
Embassy. We'll talk soon, okay? All right. Let me bring. Where did he go? Jesus Christ, these people.
He's gone, eh?
Yeah, it keeps. Oh Lord. If I call him name now, he will say Kiniko. And I'm trying to have Suru. Come back, Akin. Akin wants to talk to us. He wants to lecture us, and I'm open for it.
Hey,
Actually.
O'Shea, let's go. Let's
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down with it. I want to hear what he has to say, because honestly, we don't learn in an echo chamber, right? So even if we're trying to teach, one of the trickiest part about this whole thing is that we have to be willing to listen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which is kind of like what we were saying earlier, right?
Where they're coming from.
Yeah, understanding
what
them.
we must understand is a lot of times our rhetoric are we're a product of our experiences, and that's one thing I've come to understand, and that's how I survive on this social media platform.
Yeah. So I've cleared the room for you now, Akin. You can come back. He keeps going back into the chat and say somebody is running from him, but you don't even believe that yourself. But whatever, man.
Is Uncle Akin married? Is he a married man?
I have no idea who this person is. I was trying to, the problem is that if I haven't really had people on here before, I can't just bring them onto the screen because people's channel have been shut down. They will just open their camera and there's some kind of naked person, and instantly the algorithms can shut down your whole channel like that.
Oh my goodness!
But now I set up a layout that it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to show his face; that we can hear him. So if he wants to come back, he can come back. Let me see here. He keeps saying, look at this. He say, oh boy, you two they fear. You they avoid me like.
Oh no, Uncle Akin, come on now, come on.
Look, Shion is already using it on you. She said, Uncle Akin.
Guess you didn't tell what you did during the meltdown period.
Yes, you didn't tell us what you did during the meltdown period. Yes, you want to speak on that?
What meltdown period? I need to clarify on that.
What do you mean by meltdown period? What do you mean by meltdown?
Yeah, help me understand that real quickly. If you're
maybe they're talking about embassy. Maybe embassy mentioned. I think they might be talking about embassy. But yes, maybe we can. Embassy have told our story multiple times here before, so we can always. The 5 years long. I can tell you what she was doing in that 5 years. What were you doing? She'll tell us the truth in that 5 years.
I'm gonna be honest. Hello. Okay, Silence. So you guys, I'm not gonna come here and tell you, it was all toys, because there'll be times when a toy would not do it. Yes, I did have a couple dick appointments in the 5 years. That took care of those physical needs when I needed it. Because like I said, there'll be times when your toys are not enough. You just everything just resembles an eggplant, when you're walking on the street, and at that point you need something. You need the real pounding and everything. So yeah, I did have
Jesus Christ.
I did have a friend with benefit.
She said a time when you wanted to give up on relationships. Did you have a time where you gave up on the whole idea of? Did you ever get into that space, or that's just not? She don't get too much attention. She cannot even do it. You get too much attention. That's the honest truth now.
I do.
You get too much. I think, like you were saying earlier, right? Mm-hmm. There's some things that comes natural to you, your strength, right? It could be your looks. It could be a certain aura about you.
There's an aura. Aura is the word.
Yeah, there's some chicks that, listen, they're not the most beautiful person in the world. There's something extremely sexy when you're having a conversation with them. Like, what the hell? Like, where is this? Like, she's not even that.
Allah, you're speaking my mind. And I tell people, right? I say, you know how some women walk into the room and everybody's like, damn, she's hot.
Yeah.
I don't fit into that box. I'm a beautiful woman. Don't get me wrong. But I don't fit into that. Oh my God, stop the whole room. But I say this, and I say this confidently. Mm-hmm. Give me about 30 minutes with you, and you're gonna leave there wanting me to be your wife.
Yeah. Wait. Let me answer this question real quickly. Wait. Ogbeniola, what be your favorite brand of Indian hemp? Oboni. Sing on me. Obo. What about yours?
Who are these people?
Continue. Not been.
Okay, so and I think for me it's a specific aura, right? And again, not everyone will have that, but I also feel like we all have the ability to develop that about us. Listen, as women, right? We're already made differently. We're created with an aura to be able to captivate these men out here. But you need to know the secret and how to kind of work or get across to these men, right? Using your feminine energy. I know a lot here goes that word that we might not want to talk about. Okay?
Yeah.
We have.
No, feel free to read Patricia.
Okay. You're not the only one. I go months or years without sex and I fall and get pounded to like pounded. Damn, O'Shea. Yes, this Patricia. You gotta be pounded like pounded.
Different from.
I like my sisters. We keep it real on here.
That's why you listen. There's a lot of these lame men. Okay, there's a lot of them that they've convinced themselves that women don't like sex. Until Akin makes it back to this stage, Ademola, you've convinced yourself that women don't like sex. And these are part of the problems. Women love sex. Okay, they enjoy it actually more than you. You see, you just want to nut. Women, the level they go to when they have orgasm, right? Yeah. You probably are not willing to go there. Okay, you just want to nut, right? And you don't like me to tell you that reality. And the truth is that they do. Okay, the problem is that they're not picking you. Remember what Shion said? She's the one picking. So they pick a certain type of people. But I'll let you be until you gain some chest and come on this stage and talk to Shion and I. Don't worry, you won't pee on yourself. I know I said earlier that she will make people pee on themselves. Don't worry, just come. We'll entertain you. We want to hear your words, what you have to say about this stuff. But continue, Shion. You were talking about we're talking about self-confidence, feminine energy. Let's talk about feminine energy, right?
Let's talk about that. There's been a hype about this particular topic recently. And all of your commenters are
no, they're getting there. Don't worry. That day is coming. We will talk fully about that. That day is coming. That's not today, Sha. But
the
go ahead.
Power of
feminine energy.
What we have seen over the past few years is again one of the impact of feminism and the movement is we've pushed that women take on a lot more masculine energy in order to survive.
Yes.
When men go out there, you can be the man. And that's why we have a lot of strong women out here. For the past 5 years, I've done everything by myself. I'm the mom and the dad, and I'm the provider, I'm the mom. I've done it, right? And because I put myself in that mind frame. And that could have worked against me in the dating scene because it would be hard for me to let go of that masculine energy. Because I'm looking at you like, okay, I took care of handle my business. in the past 5 years? What do you want to tell me? But here's the trick. As a wise woman, you must be self-aware. Thank you, Ziggy. And know that, okay, you know what? I should be able to let go of some of that masculine
You
energy.
just said the buzzword. Let go.
Yeah.
Okay, let go. And it's difficult. It's difficult. Like if you're going to
Excuse
engage
me.
the feministic thingy, whatever that is,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're trying to bring that into family structure or romantic relationship,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be hard for you to be in your feminine energy. It's going to
Yes.
be
Yes.
extremely hard.
Yes.
So, and we have to pay attention to that. Let me see if I can. I have Akin. Akin is here and he disappeared. Akin doesn't even have proper.
Uncle Akin does not have liver jaw. He just wants to type. Keyboard warrior.
Just be keyword warrior now. What's all this?
Keyboard warrior.
What's all this nyama nyama now? If you disrespect my guest one more time, you'll be kicked out of the room. That's the only one I want to tolerate. Just FYI. That's to Shola. Just letting you know. Okay.
What is Uncle Shola saying? But that's okay.
If
All
I'm
right.
over my 1 inches to the door. Ṣé mo ṣe mọ́bìnrin sọ̀rọ̀ ní ọ̀dẹ̀ tó bá yá lóhùn róbòdò ṣé mo ṣe máa bóbìnrin sọ̀rọ̀ ní ẹ̀ṣọ́lá ọ̀dẹ̀ ní ọ̀dẹ̀ ní ẹ̀. I know you enjoy that if he's telling you you're a stupid man better than me,
Probably.
and I don't do that here. But if you before I get my guest into her masculine role, because she will drag you with if that's what you want. But we're not gonna do that.
Bros, it's not even about the inches, man. I don't think you're man enough to handle
Let's
me. So let's leave that alone.
see
All right.
you see what I was saying now. Look, wait. Feminine man, they attract. Right? You see how
Somebody don't
she.
call out what is squirting now. He doesn't know. If you've never made a woman squirt, don't talk.
Eh? Why are you doing this to yourself now? You see sexy woman, you're talking to sexy woman, you're asking stupid question.
All right.
Or Denny, láti lè yí wa ni. Why are you like this now? Wọ́n ṣe yín wá láti abúlé yín ni. What's wrong with you?
Oh my god, this is fun.
You know, I love my brothers, but they need. I told you, men are built from challenges. Sometimes when you don't give them woto, they think you're soft. They don't listen. It's when you give them. No, it's funny. It's weird. It's when you drag them that they start to listen. Like, come on, don't be weird. Come on, right?
Yeah, they think you're. Anyway,
Let's go back to feminine energy.
Feminine energy. So
Yes.
yeah, being self-aware and knowing. Okay, you guys, right? I come off as very confident.
Mhm.
I will never take disrespect of any kind. But maybe I need to show you guys how I treat or I address my man. Okay?
Yeah, please.
And for every time that I address him, I make him feel like a king. And there are just certain things and certain
Make
ways
him feel like
that
a king.
yes, all the time.
See game.
Again, because we're pushing back. We have a lot of rebellious women out here. We've lost our feminine touch, right? And we're just like we're so quick. That temperament is
Yeah.
so the fine line. So we're quick to push back. But
Yeah.
the point is, what we're having is a group of disrespectful, toxic women, and that's far from being attractive.
Yes,
That's a huge
yes.
turn off, right?
Yes.
So there are little things that you do to make your man feel special. There are certain buzzwords that you use. Oh, call me, my baby, what are you doing? You know, how do you talk to them? How do you I was talking to a man yesterday and he told me something, and I'm gonna share this with you guys. Okay, now we have women who have their own money. They can pay for their own vacation. They can go on first class, business class. They can handle it. Now, how do you, as a woman who has everything going on for yourself, you now find yourself in a relationship? What if you can afford all that vacation, and then one day you had everything. Your man says, "Babe, I don't think you should go. Why don't you go next week instead of today?" What would you do? The instinct inside, first thing you'd be like, "What the heck?
Yeah.
Who
Who
are
are
you to
you?
tell
Are you my
me?"
father? And rightfully so, but you might find yourself in that situation, right?
Yes,
This is a good point. You might find yourself in this situation, and that's a test.
yes.
That's a
And at
test
that
for you to
point,
get out of your feminine energy.
yes, at that point, you're not instantly saying, "Oh, okay, babe." You're gonna ask, "Babe, why? Why do you think you want a dialogue?" And if he makes you see reason, what's wrong with saying, "Okay, babe, let's do that." Okay? It's just being aware of that masculine energy and having. I had a woman on Clubhouse. So I've had some positive interactions. She's a top CEO of a multinational company, and she's been married a few years. She said it took her a while to understand that because she's leading a lot of men at work. She's the boss man. Everybody's talking to her, calling her boss lady, and all of that. When she gets home, at a point, she was forgetting to step out of that CEO role
Yes.
and step into wife.
Now we're talking, show. This is real. This is it's not you have to have self-awareness. This is why we talk about self-intelligence. To know these things. It's not that you're wrong. It's natural that if you're spending a lot of time at work telling people what to do, being pragmatic, being quantifiable, being analytical, naturally when you come home, if he moves mad, you just want to tell him like you are mad, right?
Yeah.
But if you understand it's a romantic relationship and it's your responsibility to seduce your husband, if you understand that's a powerful thing to have, if you understand that's at your power, then you are able to calm down. It goes both ways, but we're talking about women right now. We're talking about game for women right now.
Energy goes deeper than we think. It's something as subtle as what is the tone of your voice when you're speaking. This is one thing that I have over time, because again, we've been trained to be strong and everything. When we're talking to a man, we need to check our tone.
Yeah.
So sexy.
It's how you say it with respect to the person you're talking to.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
because they're craving for feminine energy. It's obvious now. They are craving for feminine energy. These men.
It took me a while, guys, and I'm being honest and transparent. Over the past year, now I'm just like aware of my tone when I'm even speaking. You know, and over time, it's now become a part of me. So when I'm talking to my man, my tone is so subtle. No matter how upset I am, I'm subtle.
Yeah.
You know,
Listen, Shio, there's so much. You're going to be our resident, seductress. What should I call it? Seductress / in addition to my wife, seductress, coaching, and all this kind of. Because honestly, I think it's a big problem. That it's not one of the places where men are wrong is asking women to be feminine. You are exactly going to help her be more masculine, right? Yeah. So when you say we need more feminine women, the women that are listening to that, they will literally become more masculine.
Yep.
Right. Literally, because they will be actively trying to put that into an exact science type of formula. That's precisely what masculine energy does. You're not helping your matters in that case. What you can do is make it safe enough for them, secure around them. If anything, make sure that like coaching at all, make sure it's a proper coach that knows what they're talking about. It's not something you can give people instruction and they will become feminine. That's why we have a lot of fake pick-me's all over YouTube right now. They think they can just pander to men, and these men don't want you. That's not what they don't know that's not what they're looking for until they don't know, right? So it's with regards to aura and regards to confidence, right? Something that you're extremely confident at, that you know you're extremely good at. There is something that you're really good at. Every one of us, there's something. For everyone, like you said earlier, it's not just looks. For everyone, it's not just aura, right? But there's a way you showcase yourself when we're talking about confidence that shoots at men as you're confident, right? Those things, you're probably already a 5 or 6 on a scale of 1 to 10. And when you help it, you can push it to 7 or 8, right?
Yeah.
Those are the things you need to focus on. It will show out in other area of your life. If you focus on your weakness, yes, it will mess with you. Let me see if I can bring it. Akinafa. Akin, talk to me now. Unmute your mic. You know how to unmute, right? Press unmute. Akin, please don't do me like this. Don't form my hand like this. Come on. Ha. You. Hey. Jesus.
I know we might be winding down, and it's important for me to touch on something.
Yeah, this guy's a troll. Jesus Christ, let me get rid of him. Yeah.
There might be someone who has been listening and just be like, okay, this woman, you keep putting the work on women. Let me say this to the men that might be
Yes.
listening. Okay?
Thank
As
you.
much as you see that I'm here talking to the women because I can relate and it's been my journey, I want you to understand women do not, you will not get my feminine energy if I don't see that you have what it takes to lead me.
So you're saying it's conditional. Wait, let's tell them the truth
In a
finally.
way, I'm being real. I'm being real.
Wala.
You can forget all the feminine energy, disrespectful. I'm very respectful. There is a limit to what I can take. If you come at me disrespectfully, you're gonna, don't forget, I've been through that before. And there's something called PTSD, it's post-traumatic stress disorder. So if you come as a disrespectful man, you're gonna bring that side back out of me. So don't feel like, oh, you're coming and you're getting a mumu, an idiot, or a fool. I'm not a fool. I know when to push back. I will push
Sorry, I
back.
had to kick Akin out of the studio because he's troll at this point.
Yeah.
Shola, anybody else, Dele, Aremu, listen, you guys are welcome here anytime. You can even drag me. That I'm okay with it. I need some smoke. I need smoke. Like I need smoke. I don't mind.
Right.
But you're trolling. You say Ola Akin is doing you long throat. I know, right? Come on, bring some smoke. I beg. It's pinned to the top. I had to kick you out. Maybe you need to come back again. I will try again one more time to bring you up again. Maybe Akin is talking from Nigeria where there's no internet
Uncle
connection.
Akin, maybe he doesn't have money for data, sir.
Hey, voila. You see sign language. Hey, Boron, if I say you are the one attracting sign language, you will understand. The way you move, women will bring shame, insult, guilt, and what is it? Need to be right? Whatever it is.
No, it comes back to what we're saying. Listen.
That's what we're talking about, Shion. That's what we're talking about.
It's coming back. I'm a confident woman. I make my own money. Money is not a determinant of if I'm going to respect you. But if you come at me disrespectfully, then I make it a factor. Like, hey, who are you again? Right? Okay. But that's you because you caused it. Okay. So if you don't even have enough money for data and you want to keep coming at us.
Another sign language. Jesus. All right. Listen, it's not something we control. It's just the way it is. If you move mad, you will attract certain madness. Everybody will duty around. But anyway, you made a good point, right? The truth is that we're not God. It's all conditional, right? It's all conditional. That's why in the GPS formula that my wife and I share, the first G is God, right? This is the only source of unconditional love. This is it. Sure. When two of you, you can call it unity, you can call it gratitude. When two of you come together and you agree to a certain set of standards, this is the only way out. Listen, it doesn't matter what standard it is, as long as both of you agree to it, right? Because a house divided against itself, it can't. Now, the issue is that unity is a moving target, right? Tomorrow, what you guys agree to, it shock you. Oh, Barry.
He shock you.
What you agreed to may have shifted small. Do you have patience to listen actively and say, what happened? Listen, we're not perfect. Sometimes you get triggered too as a man, like, that's not what we agreed to, right? But the awareness is the key. The self-awareness is the key here. Just understanding that as human beings, we're not God. Seduction is an art. It's not an exact science. It's not stuff that you can say, but you said this yesterday, so no, that's lame behavior, right? And I'm saying now in 2023, which is what Shion is kind of, I see that's what you're here to push a little bit. In 2023, women cannot afford to be waiting for men to seduce them. You need to engage your power as a woman, which is the feminine energy, right? Knowing that if you can rest, if you can relax, a typical man, I hate to say this, they're almost like they're looking for a project. Right? That they want to feel like you need them.
We have work to do. It's a 2-unit thing, and I thank you for pointing this out, Ola. I have a lot of women who come to me now and say, Sister, how are you doing it? You have all this, you don't have, it doesn't seem like you have a problem with dating. Somebody said to me recently, she said, and then she might be listening, sis, I love you. A guy was trying to hit her up on Instagram and they were talking, And they've chatted for a while, and he's like, "Can I call you on Instagram?" And she's like, "No." I pushed him away, and I said, "No, you're a stranger. I can't do that." I said, "So how? Tell me, how do you expect that to work?"
Yeah, yeah.
There
Look at
couldn't
look
be
at. I have
decency
another. These are my brothers. These are my brothers. I swear. You know, I can't avoid them. You're like, oh, like these are the kind of brothers you have. Like, yeah, this is the reality. This is our reality, right? He says, why go with a black woman when there are so many Oyinbo women to service you? He's here enjoying brown sugar on the screen. Is this not juju right here? Right? You are here enjoying. You know you want that brown sugar. You liar.
Not be juju be that.
It's just a lot of
Are you confused? Right?
insecurities, maybe.
Because you can go and watch Uncle Pearl. She will pander to you all day long. The auntie to London. Right? She's a Yoruba woman. Why are you here asking, talking? Are you confused or something? Where you can find on you? You're confused. Tell your face that you need Oyinbo woman because it's disconnect from what you are typing. There's a disconnect. Go ahead, Oyinbo woman.
That's a lot of things about what he's how
Yes,
his mindset is.
now.
But we can't even fault him for what he wants, though. We can't fault
True.
him. I mean, he can.
But you should
if
tell
that's
us.
his
You should tell
preference.
us the real point because this is just preference, right?
I really would like to hear why he thinks,
Hmm.
why that's his preference. Honestly, I have a brother who he doesn't date black men, women.
It's told us. It's told us.
Or even women sabi kerewa pass. See, that's the thing. Thank you for being. This is why we have to listen, right?
True.
Maybe, and again, we know we've said this in the beginning. Our rhetorics are a product of our experiences. Maybe all the black women he has dealt with, they know
That's
sabi
true.
kerewa, and yes, and then
Let's
he
talk.
dealt
Let's
with
talk
one
about that,
white
Shion.
woman,
That's a
and
nice.
gave him all the kerewa.
That's a nice caveat. That's a nice segue right now. Do you think black women struggle with their sexuality?
Absolutely not. It depends on the black women you're talking about.
What?
Has it dealt with certain
Oh
women?
my
Has it dealt
days,
with
you
certain
know more
African Americans? Go meet an African American sister. Let her suck your soul out. You see that there's no
Hey.
comparison. Deal with a Nigerian woman that knows what she's doing. A black woman, you know that there's no comparison. Are you, man?
You're
What
teasing
is
those
that?
people. Oh my god. The next time around it's going to
So
be
that means he's
fire.
probably never met a black woman that has squirted on his face.
I feel sorry. I'm so sorry. So sorry. They tell me something, Allah, you're just lucky. I said, oh my shit. Because you're telling me you haven't been lucky. Only them sabi BJ. So black woman has not given you BJ. Is that what you're telling me? You're
Wahala.
missing out. Hey, Jamila Raja.
That'll give you seizures. Oh my God, seizures. Oh, bros, you're missing no. All right, I'm done. But I like you for being honest, Mr. Larry Aladi. I like you for being honest.
She's
I
finessing
cannot-
you. If she start her YouTube channel, you will drop all your money in super chat. She still won't marry you. Okay.
No. If he's open to us changing his perspective, well, we can help him out.
This one's a coconut head. You can't change that.
No, we can give Uncle
You can.
Larry one
You can.
connection.
You can.
That will change
We
his
can.
mind.
Let me be honest with you, Shell. A lot of men here have changed their perspective. Right here on this
I'm
platform.
sure they will.
Yeah, they have. But I find that I have to drag them a little bit to get their attention.
You don't know
Because
their needs.
what they hear if you are talking soft to them, men in general, let's be honest, even me, okay, get my attention. If you kind of act soft, you might lose my attention. And I think women too. If you talk too soft, women will lose you. They're like, I need my man to be masculine. Oberyn is not your mate. I keep telling you. But sometimes you have to kind of drag them a little bit. It's kind of like it's the same thing where men are fantasizing about polygamy, right? And somehow they think they will get more sex by having multiple women.
Oh, is that the reason?
Yeah, these are the struggles,
Oh.
and sometimes
We
they
actually
just
have more women considering it too. Have you seen the group on Facebook? They have more groups now where they have women talking about it.
polygamy.
Which brings me, yeah.
No, this is so far from their reality. Because to them, what a man can do, a woman cannot do. right?
No, 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 no. We're not talking about polyandry. We're talking about polygamy. We have more women here in America. There's a group on Facebook that I was added to, and it's a group on
That will
polygamy.
consider being the second, third wife.
They are talking about it.
Oh,
I'll add you to that page.
let me guess. A significant fraction of them will suggest that as long as I'm in a different household.
Most of them don't mind. Some of them don't mind as long as they have their own. So there are a few couples who are African Americans who are now like the symbol of polygamy, and we have more women. And this brings us back to what we've been talking about all along. Yes,
Right.
we might not want to put it that men are the prize, but somehow,
Let me ask you: Do you think these women? Do you think these women will? Do they want each other? The ones that says I want polygamy as men, and the women that says I don't mind. Do they want each other?
they do. That's what I'm saying. I'm
Okay.
saying, and it's looking more like most of these women have been out here. They're saying there's not much going on out here with the kind quality of men we have. So they are willing to be a second wife or sister wife to a man who's considered a quality man.
See, me, I always leave room for. I always leave room for. With God, all things are possible. Literally, right? Anything is possible. Literally, right?
Oh, you're crazy.
Listen, I don't know shit. I don't know everything in life. You
I
know?
think God is possible. Guess what? Those are some of the reality we are finding out now.
No.
You might.
Listen. I think you think I'm shading. I'm not shading.
I
I
think
promise
you're
you.
kidding. I think
No,
you're-
I'm not. I'm not shading. I promise you. I'm not shading. I'm not shading. I do think anything that the mind can conceive, right? I literally think that. That's why when a woman comes to me and say, I could just wait forever, my husband is gonna come. It doesn't matter if it's 95. Dude, that person too is the same thing I say to the person that says, I'm not shady, I promise.
Makes sense.
Right? But the point is that people have, like you said earlier, for real, people have the right to their preferences. They do, right? The problem comes when you're holding people accountable for something they didn't subscribe to.
Most of these people are subscribing to it. They're not forced. They want it.
Agreed, right? I'm talking about the loudest ones on the internet who are talking to women who don't want, these women don't want polygamy. Why are you having conversations with them about polygamy? When literally, like Shion just said, there are WhatsApp groups. You just have to ask enough. Do you have the full chance to ask, or maybe you don't? There are WhatsApp groups. There are Facebook groups,
Yeah.
not just for even polygamy, because that's still traditional in a lot of sense, right? But we're talking about even to the extent of a woman having multiple husbands.
That's another
That-
trend.
That's strange to our heads, but it's happening.
Yeah.
So all you
You
have
saw
to
one that was on Facebook recently, right? You saw it. Or
the woman, right?
trended. Yeah.
Even though I think she already dumped the first one. It's just I don't know wherever that was, but the other. But
Did you see the second husband is a little jealous? Like,
yeah, and then they call you weary. Oh, I remember your comments.
he's jealous. Oh my God.
And then they call you to cook pẹ̀lú ẹ̀, like
He
yeah,
said it's almost unbelievable, but it's happening right before our eyes.
it's happening. It's happening. I think the problem is that people are having conversations about their preferences with people that are not interested in whatever their preferences are, right? If you're open to polygamy, there are communities literally for any weird
Yeah.
thing you're looking for in this life, the weirdest. Okay, there's community. If you, as long as you're not googling how to delete a person, you can
Yeah.
Google them,
Anything, and
Reddit
it's
community,
legal.
anything. They, as long as it's legal, they come up. But stop disturbing people that are not interested in whatever that lifestyle is. Stop disturbing them. The truth is that most of these women out here, regardless of how beautiful, how feminine they sound, they're making you pee yourself. They got pearls on there. Listen, regardless,
You're crazy.
you look beautiful today, Sean. Thank you
I
for
look
gracing
beautiful
us
all
with
the
your
time.
presence.
What do you mean today?
This is your first time on Men of Prestige. What are you talking about?
You don't say you look beautiful today. You say you look beautiful, and that's
Thank you.
it.
Let me tell you something. You're correct, by the way. Let me tell you something. Today, right? My son, my 12-year-old.
Yes.
So I was talking to my son of the 14-year-old, and I was like, because they go to school with a lot of Indians and a lot of Spanish
Oh.
people. So I was teasing them,
Right.
I might even get in trouble for giving this example, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it. Gen Z, I'm here for it. Okay, I want to learn. Okay, right. And I said, like your accent, like every one of us have accent. What do you mean I have as your father? But I said, you have India, Chinese, more like Spanish accent. Your best friend is Spanish, right? It's like yeah, but that doesn't mean I have an accent. And my second goes, that's actually kind of racist.
Okay, they'll tell you.
I'm like, what?
They'll tell you.
Your father? What do you mean? That's kind of, what do you mean that's kind of racist? You're too sensitive.
They will tell you.
You
I
know.
don't think they're sensitive a lot.
Yeah.
I think we have a generation who will tell you, they'll read your rights. They'll read your rights to you
Yeah.
right now. They're not going to
Listen, Shion, it's not just today you're beautiful. Have you seen your Facebook page and your Instagram? Okay, all right.
I
So
was pulling your leg, Joe.
okay. So, but let's just leave that alone. But I stand to be corrected, right? But
Yes.
they've been saying it in the chat. They enjoy your presence here.
It's
Let
been
me
a pleasure.
see. Let me see. Multiple in both purpose. Like,
Uncle Aaron.
jerk off somewhere, brother.
Exactly. Even Niger women, now you go surrender. Don't mind this guy.
Yeah, porn is blowing. Porn is blowing up everywhere. All because of these
Don't
people.
mind him.
Eh? Find you a nice brown sugar. Yes, even white snow, flaky, whatever you want. You have the freedom for that. But it has nothing to do with what group of people. This is what we're talking about here. It's the same people that will say they want to run to Brazil to go and find it. I was like, this has nothing to do with that. It's competence.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about competence here, right? Competence in terms of, can you talk and make a woman get wet?
Ask him.
I
Let's
know.
ask.
I know.
Great
This just wait. No. We need to hold these women accountable. You hold them accountable. Like, you see, these are your problems. They're not accountable. You say what?
Nothing. I said their women don't like sex, but they don't know how to make her come. If you don't know how to make her come, she doesn't look forward to the next time. Because again, what's there to look forward to? It's bland. It's boring.
Yeah. See, after all, you want a virgin. How are you going to make a virgin want to do back to back to back to back to back? If you are struggling with a woman that has at least 3 body count, these are the struggles.
Don't mind that. Body count. We'll talk about that another day.
That's another topic, right? That's another topic entirely. So
body counts decrease our dating value.
Yeah.
As women.
More, that's listen, Sean, we have to kind of like bring that conversation. You want?
Yeah.
Okay, that's another conversation for another day entirely, because the truth is that for me it's 2023 and we're now in a space that it has to be about confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then in addition to that, competence. I agree that would you agree that the dating scene is successful right now? It's a lot of struggle.
Yeah, it is very, very tough. And this is why I feel, and I think we've been talking about this for a while. This is why I feel it's important to start having these conversations and make it as open-minded, as balanced as possible. Because I have unfortunately or fortunately had to experience the dating world, and I feel really bad for those that are in the dating world right now.
Why is that? Tell us one or two real life. Are you still there? I think there was a call trying to come in. She will come right back.
Ola, I promise you, I put this
Okay.
on airplane mode, and I don't know why these calls are coming in.
Oh, it's probably because they're iPhones. If they're iPhones, they will still come in because it's on the internet.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're basically
Okay.
iCalls. Yeah.
Okay. So there are lots of challenges that these people have hurdles they have to cross these days in the dating scene. Again, I think that's what we've talked about all through. The rhetorics that are out here. We have
Yeah.
women who are claiming to be feminists, but at the same time, when it comes to dating, they want the traditional
They
gender
want a man to be a man.
Yeah. So how
Yeah,
do
it's
you
confusion,
expect
it's
to
juju, it's
find the
witchcraft.
balance, right? What's
Yeah.
that balance? You're saying I can do by myself, I have my own money, but then you also want the man to fund your soft life, like.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense now.
And
That's
then we have men
contradiction.
who are saying, okay, you men and women are pushing now for 50-50. I think we're buying more into it. So we have more
Mm-hmm.
men who are losing that masculine, traditional
Because they're getting
masculine.
triggered. Hmm.
Yeah, maybe getting triggered, maybe getting a little spoiled, maybe getting look using you're having an excuse to be lazy themselves. I'm sorry, I
Right.
don't mean to offend anyone. I don't mean to
No, they
offend
get it. They
anyone.
get it. They get it.
Um,
Yeah.
so now we're having more and more men who are demanding 50-50, right? We have more men
Mm.
who are canceling women who are not even offering to make any payment or bringing anything to the table when they go on dates. So it's tough. They have so many things they're navigating. Now
Mm-hmm.
they're questioning your age when it comes to dating. They're
Mm.
asking, we have women who are asking men, you have to be six-figure men. By God,
That's
Allah,
unrealistic.
how many men can be six-figure?
That's literally the top 1% person. You can't. I know it sounds sweet on the internet, just like people talk about. Marriage is ending, and because negative stuff spreads more, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
the same thing when we talk about money. Everybody's making six figure on the internet. The reality is that it's only 1% of the
How
population.
people are making six figures? It's
You're going
really
to
tough.
need each other. You're going to need
Right.
each other. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
we're asking women not to, don't, what's that keyword that triggers me now? They're saying don't struggle with a man. Oh my God. Are we saying that every woman is going to meet a man who's already financially made?
Yeah.
Wrong. Most
Yeah.
of the time, when you meet a man who's financially made, he's probably not going to come for you. He wants to go for
Yeah.
somebody lower,
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
too many things that people are dealing with in the dating world and makes it really, really scary.
Yeah. That's word. That's word.
Yeah.
All right. So, what advice would you give someone who is interested in becoming more involved in the feminist activism and create change in their community? Because you're still a feminist at the end of all of this. Yeah.
This one I'll ask you to
Sorry. Let me
tread.
let me add this without sabotaging their love life.
That's it's the same thing. Tread very carefully. Um, I would say first thing, affiliate, find organizations that you can get connected with. But at the same time, before you do your research, listen to them and be careful of what kind of rhetorics they are spreading. What are the ideologies? Because you want to be careful what community or feminist community you're affiliated with right now. They can change your life for the better or for worse. Because again, there's a very thin line between those real healthy feminist movement that says equality for women socially, in all of those things, versus ones that are saying, oh, you don't need a man, you can do by yourself, and just pushing a lot of masculine energy on you. But guess what? We're finding, Ola, a lot of these women that push all of these narratives, we're seeing many of them getting married now. And
Oloni, 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 Oloni. But I didn't see anything. They are.
yeah,
These motherfuckers are getting married
yeah,
after spewing a bunch of nonsense to a bunch of young, impressionable girls'
yeah,
minds.
yeah. So find organizations on social media that you can get affiliated with. But before you rush to them, follow them for a little bit, see what their rhetorics are. If they're healthy enough, then you can definitely be a part of that. That's the quickest way that you can
Yeah,
get involved in that movement.
yeah, absolutely. Now, with respect to not sabotaging their love life, you made a good point. Make sure that what you're listening to ultimately is not, you got to pay attention to certain. If somebody is saying delete all black babies, that's like, come on, you should know that should be common sense. Like,
Yeah.
or black boy babies. Like, come on, at some
Hmm.
point, including men, if you don't bring that into the conversation, we're trying to help you get laid on a
Hmm.
consistent basis by a wife that will fall in love with you. Okay? You don't need to bring in conversations about weirdos that are talking about deleting black baby boys. Those are completely irrelevant to what we're talking
Yeah.
about. It's not
Or men
relevant.
men who are pushing women above the wall rhetorics. We have a typical
Yeah, above the
example
wall.
on Clubhouse. We had a group where the guy was pushing, the main leader was pushing, don't go with women above the wall. They are this. old boy is married to a woman who's very above the wall now, and they have a child. I love both of
Voila.
them. Don't get me wrong, I love both of them. They're
If
beloved
it's what I
people.
think you're talking about, I think he's been a guest here, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I will send you the link. That's, oh Lord. But
Just be sensible and be able to pick what works for you and
yes.
what doesn't. Period.
Yes, yes. I'll be honest with you. Before the last 3 years, I
Mm-hmm.
would probably say to myself, I'm a feminist. Okay, yeah, I guess sure. It's not something I look at as a movement or anything like that. I just know what it means, which is
Right.
essentially advocating for human rights for women,
For women, yes.
like basic human rights
Yes.
for women, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the last 3 years, I'm like, damn, that's hard for me to identify. Number one, I'm a whole man. Number two, there's a lot of lame women on this internet street running their mouth into their hole, right? So I'm like, okay, I'll slow down on that. I don't mind saying the full sentence. I am absolutely here for basic, complete human rights for women,
Yeah.
right? But easy. In the family structure, it's called a structure. Partnership for a reason. The partnership and leadership are not mutually exclusive. My wife is my partner, but there's no confusion that I'm the leader of this household.
Preach it. Preach it.
Now she's about to talk about the Indian me stuff, but oh well. there's no confusion there. It's about looking for a balance, because the typical woman also, like you said, she find that sexy that a man is able to lead.
Oh yeah, very sexy. Very sexy.
Right. But the tricky part is that how does a man hear a woman say, me, I just want partnership? How does he not overreact to that and lose his masculine frame? Because a woman is saying, I don't need no man. For me, as a person, okay, if I was in this dating scene again, I really don't care. Again, I don't care what people say out of their mouth. I'm watching their aura. I'm watching how they move, right? I know for a fact that when a woman feels safe and secure, you can penetrate literally everything.
Yes, sir.
Literally.
Don't worry about what they're speeding out from their mouth.
She will be that pick-me for you. She will be that pick-me for you. If she's been a pick-me for 1 million men on the internet, that's not a feminine woman, no.
Yes.
That's not a feminine woman.
They're speaking my language. All these
Okay.
women that are so quick to say, well, let me show you a pick me. I said, listen, you will have a woman, a man you're going to be a pick me for. Trust me. You will be. You will have that man. But
And women are very quick to kick themselves to the curb. Say, oh, you forgot me because now you're with your man. Like, hey, tell them go. Tell them go, But patriarchy, do you think is a bad thing?
If I look at the paper definition of patriarchy, it leaves me cringing. And because what it's saying is more of a male
Let's remember the question, but I want to show you something. I just want to make you laugh a little bit. Let's look at the feminine man, right? She's talking to Chinye. Chinye is one of our main G here. She's a beautiful lady that's always here. But look at what a feminine man is doing, right? And this is the result. This is from the most feminine woman in the world. This is the result you will get. Can you read? You don't know Igbo, Abi?
It's Igbo, but I know she's giving it back to him.
This guy just
This is what we've been talking about. Listen, you worry about a woman disrespecting you, and this is what I want us to end with, Ola. We're telling women, tap into your feminine energy. Don't think women these days are fools. Don't think you're gonna not know how to lead a woman and she's gonna stay with you. Unfortunately for you, women these days will not stay. Okay? We are not our mothers.
You guys have options. You have options essentially.
Okay. People don't like it when we say that. We're not our mothers. When I say that, I'm meaning our mothers were told, marriage is for better, for worse, stay in it. Unfortunately for you, women these days will not stay.
Yeah.
They're out.
But it makes sense.
So come with your A game too, sir. And if you're here telling a regular woman on social media, Otiyawere, you're gonna get it back. She's not gonna be quiet. She'll give it back to you.
Yeah, this is reality. This is the same thing in your family, in your household.
Yeah.
I know you've listened to a bunch of feminine men barking at women on the internet, and you want to take that back to your relationship. You will end up in those divorce courts. I guarantee it. You will end up in those child support courts. It's a guarantee, right? And once you end up in that space, you go collect. Chibi, you know, way is skewed in the favor of women, right? I don't have to tell them this stuff. You know this now. You know, once you end up in that space, I might not be able to help you. The only thing I can help you actually anywhere you are in life is how do you respond to crisis? That's all I can help you with. Life is full of crises. You're faced with a masculine woman. How do you respond to that? How do you attract what you attract? Particularly
Uncle Larry is such a sin. Such a sin. Sorry.
Oh my show.
And it makes me wonder, how old is he?
No, you're calling a Larry. You normally get 13-year-old become. But some people are 65 and they are 13 in the head. So you never know.
Turn off.
Let's go back to the patriarchy. Right?
Yes.
Thanks. This is one of my, by the way, we have a lot of respect for people that come here all the time. You spoke to one of them earlier, but Patrick, this is another one, gracious greatness. Although he has corny jokes. Gracious greatness. He has corny jokes like me. So he always brings up he's bringing us back to, let's get back to that patriarchy thing. Is it a bad thing?
And you know, how do I put this? I think I would say, just as feminism has both its negative and its positive, it depends on where you're coming from.
Right.
Patriarchy does not actually absolutely have to be a bad thing, but how is it being used? There was a time when patriarchy, it's a male-dominated culture or society where women were relegated. Is that what I want for us now? No. Okay. So I guess it's just how it's being used, or what is the understanding of the society that's using it. So I don't know. It's a tricky question to answer.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing as feminism. Like, I identify as a feminist, but I'm also telling you there are times when I feel like, I don't want to be identified as that. But that's based on the rhetorics that are being spewed right now by the current feminists that we have. So it's just tricky for me, sir.
I agree. I think patriarchy is obviously not perfect. Like a business, like any family, like anybody's marriage, it's a work in progress. You know, we can look at it that way. But we're all here as a part of the function of patriarchy, right? Matriarchy, from everything we know right now today. You said what?
Yeah, I said that one.
Yeah, listen, I work with women. May God help us.
Amen.
But like we've been talking about, there's a lot of men that are moving mad, feminine these days. So it's a work in progress. That's the way I would probably look at it. Rebecca says these are some of the men you ask us to respect. Let me just say this, and I want you to add on to this show from your own point of view.
Yeah.
Let me first of all talk to men. You need to treat every woman like a lady. Okay? Regardless. Even if she started with the sign language first, right?
Yeah.
Part of treating her like a lady is disengage if she's outright disrespectful. Disengage, right? Just know that whatever is going on there is not about you. It's not your cup of tea. Just keep it moving, right? Because if you have to engage that and correct a stranger, there's a good chance that you don't believe yourself. You're actually, you think you attracted it, and you're resenting yourself, and you're trying to hold that stranger accountable when that's not, sometimes all you need to, even if you've lost respect for some reason, because we're not perfect, right? One of the easiest way to regain respect back is silence. Just, disengage if it's too much, or listen in and see, this is a little weird. If it's somebody that's in your life, they have to kind of be in your life. Listen in actively, and don't lose your masculine frame. The same thing goes for you ladies, okay? Your power is in understanding that these men get high off of respect. They do. that's actually a power for you, not for them. Okay. First of all, you're giving power that they haven't earned.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable anyway if they haven't earned it, right? It's not sustainable. So the least of your worries is, should I give your natural instinct is to no, don't respect anybody who is disabled. That's your natural instinct. I get that. But there's a reason why it's natural instinct. Now we need to go to the next level. The next level is saying, oh, poor Pookie baby. What a simp. Let me show you. This is what Shion does to them, right? And then they will pee in his pants, right? And then he will give you everything you want. You can think of it as every level. It could be your husband. Obviously, hopefully you're not married to a weirdo like this, but it could be, we have moments of weakness as men too, right? And just all he needs is rub him at the back of his heads and just make him feel like a king, like Shion said earlier. It's a feeling. It's not reality. It's not sustainable if you have to keep doing it. I already said that. But sometimes all he needs is a little push, and then he regains his masculine frame, and he will give you everything you're looking for in life, including that safety and security you're looking for. And if it happens to be the minority of the situation that he's just a mad person, part of your feminine energy is to also disengage. You have to. You're not going to tolerate nonsense, right? I want you to add to that because Rebecca is making a good point. I see where she's coming from, but you can't focus on giving on the. You can't focus on your own power. Go ahead, Shion.
So Rebecca, I would hope that everything we've been talking about today is not based off of you respecting. Of course, we want to respect every individual we come across, but when we talk about respecting the man, I want to hope that it's the man that you have deemed worthy to even be in your circle in the first place.
Amen.
First of all, number one, this man that just came at you or at a woman and asking Shetty Awari, that man for me automatically is cancelled. I would not even move ahead with even hi, hello. I do not want to even be around that kind of man, right?
Yeah.
So he's not even worthy of my interaction or anything or respect at that point.
Yes.
So when everything we've been talking about today, I would hope our men that you vetted enough you will find worthy. Remember, I said something. I said you're pandering to this man what they want, these men, but without losing your self-value.
Don't lose yourself, because that's not sustainable.
Okay? Because right there, if I pandered to you and you came at me with Ayawi already, at that point, you're not worthy. You're not going to lose it. So you get, it's very important that we really take note of that. Okay? This man here is not worthy of anything from me at this point. And I shut down.
If you're wondering why I highlighted the Were earlier on, it's views. We're looking to get views here. Just don't forget, Were attract more views. But you made a good point. You can't give what you don't have. So the first step, thank you, because that pushback helped me a little bit, right? You can't give respect if you don't have self-respect. So have some self-respect for yourself. Don't tolerate random weirdos that want to talk disrespectful to you just because, quote unquote, they have stats, data, and statistics. Don't tolerate that, including hanging out consistently in their space. Okay, if you keep doing that, okay, it's not what you say. Even if you start to pander to them, it's not really what you say. It's your actions that speaks louder. You're basically showcasing that you don't have any self-respect. And people will mimic the level of self-respect and self-love you have for yourself always. So it just depends. But if you're in the situation, like your husband or something like that, they've earned something. They have your attention. You're getting certain type of value from them being in your life. Maybe it's now expired. Maybe they were so lovely, they were sweet, and now they're just moving mad, right? So I know that's going to take some patience, right? But even at that, it could be a micro level of don't tolerate disrespect. You say, don't talk to me like that again. I will walk out if you talk to me like that again. And understand that that doesn't have to be a permanent decision. But if people think they can keep behaving a certain way to you, if they feel they will keep doing it. Because you co-signed it, You
allowed it.
Yeah. It's very important. So, no, it's not. So before you give respect, going back to Rebecca's point, right? before you give respect, make sure you're showcasing self-respect. I wouldn't engage. Like what Chinye did is not bad, but I would do that once, maybe twice. After that second time, no, don't engage that person.
Yeah.
It's
They
not
don't
worth
need
it, you know. But a lot of them are cowards. If you give them one time, second time, they will disappear into the background somewhere, you know. Any point you want to add on to that? Gracious greatness is my perspective is that we have lost something. Us men used to desire to build environments and a home that the woman will thrive in. I really don't know what has happened. What's your thoughts about that?
We know what has happened. We know what has happened. It's just it's this effect of patriarchy, feminism, and the counter effect of it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what it is. That's what we're finding. Again, I think we explained that cycle. As much as we don't want to go back to the definition of patriarchy, it was a male-dominated society, right, that relegated women and included relegating them in all spheres, in political sphere, in the marriage, where that's why you found a lot of women tolerated a lot of mistreatment, right? And then we now have the feminist movement that said, you know what? Why would women be allowed to vote? And we started pushing for women to be out there. But guess what? That also trickled into the marriage institution where we're now telling women, we're not going to take that. Our mothers did this. And guess what? We thought it would probably stop there. We saw a rise in divorce, yes, sadly. And now
Yes.
we now have a new cycle of men are saying, okay, we allow this. What is going on with this feminism thing? No, we're not going to take it. We're still
Yeah.
men, and we are pushing back and saying no.
So it's a
No, we're not
lashback.
gonna.
It's lashbacks.
It's a lashbacks on both
Back
sides,
and
and it's just
forth.
this cycle, and it's
That's
scary,
true.
which is why we need to find a balance. Right now,
Yeah.
we're at a point women used to be, it was a thing of pride to actually build a home also, right? Raise our kids. But now it has become more like a punishment or burden. Like, why would I be home? Why would I raise children? Why would I leave my career and raise children? It's a thing
Right.
of pride, you know? So
It's pride. It's pride. It's funny that you say that because everybody always want to point out that finances and infidelity and irreconcilable differences, and I was say nope. It's unrealistic expectations and pride.
yeah, yeah.
That's really what it comes down
Let's
to.
not forget abuse though. But
Eh,
then abuse is also a function of patriarchy.
yeah,
That's hard. Let me be quiet.
yeah. That's gonna be a
Topic for another
conversation.
day.
Conversation for another day. Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
sir.
That's going to be a conversation for another day. Gracious
Yes,
greatnesses,
sir.
have we reverted back to GSS, SS, school fantasies and desire, just hurling insult, sign language left and right? She want the wine. Yeah. Listen, yeah, we did revert back to that. Admittedly, sometimes you have to let people collect what they so they can pay attention. It's all good, you know.
That's
But we are human beings. No one is perfect. Precisely what we're talking about, like we just said, it's a lashback. I think things will course correct. Part of the course correction is that there will be casualties. Some people need to buy a dog and die alone. I'm sorry.
Ooh, yeah.
Sorry. The part of it is me starting this conversation 19 months ago, 700 videos as of 2 days ago, right?
Whoa. Wow.
700 videos, 2,500
What?
subscribers, and about 200, over 200,000 views. So we're working.
Wow.
Because it's such a balanced conversation, it's slow and
Fantastic. I
steady.
love
We're
it.
fine with it, you know. But this is we're not talking about right and wrongs ever. That's not what we do here. Your mother and your father already taught you what right and wrong is.
Yes, sir.
Clearly, it's not working. There's more to life that you need to learn. But yeah, Shion, I want you to give us your last word because I know I've taken some of your time today. We will discuss in the back scene. We will talk about continuity because I want you to build your YouTube platform and you have a fantastic followership on Facebook. I think you are needed in the streets. I know you kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, over the last 1 or 2 years, you kind of slowed down because you wanted to also be able to showcase some results.
Yeah,
Is that why?
that's exactly what I was doing. It was difficult to handle everything. I was traveling for work and I was in school full time, and I also wanted to work on my own healing.
On yourself.
And I feel like this is I'm showing, and I'm still showing. I'm showing women and people definitely that regardless of the adversity, you can determine the results, how you handle it. And this is what I did. Like listen, I went, came back. See, I'm hearing people like saying, "Oh, you blossomed." I came back with the certification, and no matter what happens, don't give up on yourself. Last words for today. Ola, thank you so much for this very important conversation. Again, based on where I am in my life and what I've experienced and what I've gone through in my short time in my life, I could be fine with absolutely not getting married again, not doing all that stuff, just being out here in the streets and having fun, right?
Without being for the
So
streets.
without being for the streets, right?
Buzzword. Because I want
But
304 detector. One.
I said it without being for the streets, okay?
Right.
But it worries me when I hear the conversations that are going on these days. You can call me old school, right? But it's what it is. It worries me what I hear from the men. It worries me what I hear from the women. People are making, what is that thing that we sign when we're getting married? This thing that they're doing now.
Prenup.
Prenups.
Yeah.
Prenups have become a regular conversation
Right.
in these days, like it's normal. And for me, prenups, as healthy as it sounds, it's not. It's like a preconceived notion that things are going to fail, and you don't want to, But people have an agenda coming into relationships,
Right.
and
They're
it's
coming
taking
in to
away.
compete with each other.
So it worries me because again, I'm still having in my inbox people that are asking, I'm
They are
lonely. I
asking.
want a
That's true.
relationship. I want to
That's
be in a
true.
relationship. And now it's worrying me. What is the future of the marriage institution? What is the future of real love, right? So it's important that we have that self-awareness and say, where are we going? And start having these conversations. Hopefully,
Yes.
we might not be able to touch or impact everybody, but I'm hoping that we can help one or two or three or four people to still see the value in a relationship, in a healthy marriage, in healthy, just knowing how to deal with one another versus all the unhealthy, toxic rhetorics that we have out here. So
Absolutely.
it's been a great pleasure. Thank you, and I hope this is going to be an ongoing conversation.
Yeah.
Just you guys, please be very careful what you are allowing into your head and your mind on these streets. Is
Yeah.
very, very scary. Please be careful. Pick what works for you, but never lose your values and never lose what you truly believe in when it comes to pursuing a relationship and marriage as you go along. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, we do have to talk behind the scenes. I'm so glad that you've finished that program
Yeah.
because, like I said, when you have certain types of experiences, my wife and I, what we bring to the table is experience.
Yeah.
You know, we are coaches. We're not licensed coaches. That's not what we do. But you know, people have a certain type of value they attach to when you're licensed from a school, right? So when I tell people I'm not a counselor, I'm not a therapist all the time, I'm not gonna listen. There are formulas I will prescribe to you, and then
Yes,
we
sir.
will bend it around your story to create the results you're looking for.
Amen.
That's what we kind of cover, but we need to talk behind the scenes because again, like I said, we need people to start showcasing that it's a journey.
Yeah.
It's not about result, but we also need to acknowledge that they do judge you a certain type of way. They do. We don't want to be talking out of our ass. We want to make sure that they're able to receive it, which is why I advocate that even older people, mature people, I should say, people of certain types of experience, seasoned woman, we need before we have this conversation, we need to be listening to what's going on in the streets. We can't just be shooting at people. This is why you and I can go on stages like AMM on Clubhouse. They take care of us, they welcome us. But when we leave them alone to do their basketballs,
Yeah.
let's be honest, we enjoy it, entertain it too, right? But we're learning from, wow, this is how they think,
We
right?
want to hear their minds and what they're thinking. Yes,
We
I
need to
completely
hear the raw,
understand. Yes.
right? It's not built for everyone. Not everybody should be. My wife couldn't. That's not everybody should be listening to such negative rhetorics, right? But if you can, we need you. We also need you to learn how to take time off. Like I do that a lot. I would just disappear for like 3 weeks and stuff, and then when I come back, like, oh shit, these niggas are still here. Like,
Happening right.
right. But but we need to hear them. We need to hear their heart. We, not your partner. Your partner does not need to hear unfiltered truth. Don't deceive yourself. But us that we're trying to coach and we're trying to help, we need to hear from both sides, so we can help them adjust and those ones that want it. I agree with you. Many of them, the reason why they're engaging this conversation so hard, because they want to be loved. They're craving love. That's what it comes down to. You're not coming into conversations about marriage all the time just because you want to be, men go their own way. You want to be, what's his name? Andrew Tate. That's not who you are. That's not who you are. You want to be regular.
Them? Some of these women now are saying, oh, I have a man now. I'm in it with them. Like, oh, okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. It's all cap. Majority of them, they're going to, if they're not careful, they will still cast those conversations into their relation. They will destroy it.
Ooh.
So because I have to be careful. If I notice myself, my wife noticed too, but I said it and she says, you know what, I'm glad you noticed that yourself. When you start hearing the same thing over and over again, because they're laced with actual truth on paper, you start to connect and you be like, maybe they're right after all. Like, nah, fuck you, you're lame.
I don't want to destroy what you already have going on for you. So
thank you so much, Shion. I want to let you go because I know you gotta go. So have the rest of your Sunday evening
for the girls.
Yes. We'll talk about continuity behind the scenes.
Thank you. I look forward to that. It's been a pleasure. Good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shion. Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Did you all like that? If you like that, put a 1 in the chat. If you really like that, you enjoyed that. If you have a question still, you can put a Q next to it and I'll take another 8 minutes or so to answer it. Okay. But I enjoy that. Tomorrow my wife is going to be here 12 noon. Okay, tentatively. If there's any changes, I'll let you know in the WhatsApp group. Just in case you're not in the WhatsApp group yet, make sure you join the WhatsApp group at lolaandola.com/WhatsApp. It takes you straight. If you're going in from a typical phone, go to a browser and you type that in /WhatsApp. It takes you into the group. Okay. If that's not working, you can just text this number. WhatsApp text this number. It will reply you with a good link right inside of WhatsApp, so you can just jump right into the group. But feel free to use that WhatsApp group to be notified when I do go live. But right now we do have a schedule for 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, New York time. That will be 11 a.m. Central Time, Niger time, 5 p.m. I guess UK time too. I'm not sure, but you get the gist. You can find it like that. Okay. Hey Binkwe, good to see you, Binkwe. Shout out to Binkwe, he's here. Life with Natu, he finally came back. I know it's Sunday evening. Chinye was cooking or something like that, right? Shout out to you all. You guys are the best. You made her feel welcomed, and that's very important as much as bringing some value. Thank you so much. Shout out to all of you people on here. Big love to Rebecca. Gracious greatness, my guy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. The bottom line for me is to know your values and guide your heart from what you watch. You have to, including all of us, even those of us that we're coaches, we have to make sure we're feeding our souls properly with good content. And if you have to consume quote unquote unfiltered truth, be careful, because truth, what they call truth, they are actually true to a lot of extent on paper. Is when we start to leave it that that there's got to be some nuances. You have to feed on people's energy. You can't just blah 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 running your mouth. That's not how human beings work. It doesn't work like that. You attract sign language. They don't get to control it. It's just what it is. Okay. And if you get triggered, you get defensive, which becomes offensive on the other hand. God helps you. We're talking about your family. You might just end up in the toe. Is that what you want? I'm not sure. Or you want to be married, you want to be going back and forth between multiple marriages. That's not what you want, right? You want to be in a healthy relationship, okay? You don't even want to be in a poto type of marriage. That's not what you want. You gotta be careful what kind of stuff you're feeding yourself out there, okay? So I'm glad it was a wonderful discussion. This discussion was too good. I'm gonna have to chop them up into small 10 minutes bits. So look out for them. There's a lot of gems in this discussion, you know. And because of that, I'm gonna have to bring Shion back as well. Okay. I have to, but she's my G, so I can always find her and bring her back. Okay. And she's licensed to talk about this kind of stuff. How's that? Right? She's, you know, quote unquote licensed with the way you guys like it, right? One, you guys like it, right? Only D-Love like it. Like, okay, no, you said it in so many words, right? I appreciate you guys now. Okay. So now with that being said, on your way out, please do me a favor. Okay. It's easy. Okay. I have 23 likes. Jesus Christ. We've had at least 27 people came through here. If you haven't hit that like button, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Okay. Just do it right now. Just do it right now. Just don't tell anyone. Just do it right now. Right now. Okay. Do it right now. For me, myself, I'm going to go ahead and also enjoy the rest of my Sunday evening with my wife, my family. I hope you do the same thing with your family. Okay. Hopefully, you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.